giving you the real surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with your host, Skywalker Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, good people. Welcome to the Skywalker Morning Show, streaming live on YouTube, 2 YouTubes, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! You see that gentleman right there? That is El Jefe, a.k.a. Jeff Kavanaugh of DLLS Cowboys, and a good friend of mine over there. So y'all give a warm welcome to my brother. How you doing, Jeff? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm clicking buttons on YouTube because my thing got confused.
Click, clack, click, clack. We'll get it figured out, Jeff.
I got two different things. One says upcoming and one says it's live now. So I'm adjusting the things in the live now and deleting the one that says upcoming. We got problems, but we're great.
We'll work through it, Jeff.
We're
get
live.
Through it. We're live. We're live. And I feel like everybody is ready to hear a lot about what we got to say about these here Dallas Cowboys, who, breaking news last night, or yesterday, I should say, made the big trade for Micah Parsons going to Green Bay. And as you can see in the thumbnail, packed up. They packed Micah Parsons up all the way to Green Bay for Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. A lot to discuss. We're going to try to jam-pack it here in the next half hour or so with you and the nation. So appreciate y'all for coming through this morning. Jeff, you still figuring things out? We good to go?
No, I think I'm squared. I'm squared away. I'm getting rid of the other one. The one that's working is working.
Okay.
So here's this. I'm going to tell people a secret.
Okay.
See, Sky runs a premier and professional operation. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing other than making words. And so I just had to click through some things and figure out why there's multiple things up here. And one of them's not going to exist and one does exist. But if there's people waiting for the one that says it's going to exist,
get that out of there.
Bad boy, you know?
Got to get that out of there, man.
One that says upcoming, we're going to click that button. We're going to go edit, not edit. We want it to die.
Yeah, we want to get out of it.
Delete forever.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Now we're ready. Now we're rocking.
We're ready,
one thing. Yeah.
Hey, appreciate you and all the work you're doing over there with DLS, and of course on your channel, Jeff Kavanaugh. Please go over there and support and subscribe if you haven't, which what you're doing if you haven't, man. But let's get into it, Jeff. I have friends and family hit me up, right? And
you're a Harrisburg man, aren't you?
I'm a Harrisburg man. So I have friends and family
Micah.
hit me up, and they said, hey, man, you know, how'd you feel about, you know, what went down, Jeff? And this is all I thought about. You know.
Once you are together,
I felt like Jerry Jones in that damn press conference. I got too many words, but it was a shock that he got traded to the Green Bay Packers. That was a shock to me. It wasn't a shock that he got traded, but the Packers of all places, Jeff, the team that's whooped your ass in the playoffs the last 3 times, other than the 49ers, that to me was like, whoa, what, why? And I had a heated, passionate, emotional reaction to that yesterday about the Packers in general. But your thoughts when it happened and went down?
I mean, I still think it's pretty shocking. Like you don't see the best players in the sport in their prime get traded very often. That doesn't happen very often. I saw my buddy Justice Mosqueda was like trying to go through. He's like, how many times have we even seen this? Like we've seen great players traded, but great players that are still young and like entering the prime. How often do we get this?
Mm-hmm.
5 times ever? It is crazy. But I was the one person at DLS. I made $3 off of this. I was the one person that as of the last week, I was like, no, like Jerry's in a legit weird Jerry place where like he is now really dug in on having his feelings hurt. No. And my bet was just that there will not be an extension done before. So technically maybe I lost because he did get one in Green Bay. But I do think it's shocking. I think it's hugely shocking because I don't think it lines up at all with any sort of plan.
That was my thought yesterday too. I have this thing on my channel where we just do shit. I don't think there is a legitimate plan that starts from, hey, January, we're doing this from January to December, or hey, we got a 3-year window or 5-year window, and this is how we want to move. It does not. It never feels that way. And if you feel like it does, Cowboy Nation, please explain to me how it feels that way to you. But I'm with you. The plan doesn't feel like it adds up to this.
No, because and I think it all revolves around the same thing. The general manager's incompetent, but people get tired of me yelling at Jerry, so I'll just leave it alone for a second. It's like the George Pickens move says a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else they did this offseason says that same thing. And the Micah Parsons move says the opposite thing. So what are you doing? The George Pickens was like, oh, yay, they are going to be aggressive. They are going to try to do something. The rest of their offseason was very standard Cowboys.
Yeah.
We're going to give up very little for guys that their teams didn't want them, but we liked them 5 years ago. And we'll see if they can be a okay starter. Like they did their standard, let more talent leave than has come in, like they've been doing for the last 3 years. And then the Pickens one was like, oh, okay, let's go do something. And then with Micah, if you just follow his whole timeline, none of it makes sense. The way that they got to where they got, the compensation they got, and why it was the compensation they got, like it all leads up to just an inept front office that never had a plan and had no idea what they were doing or how anything was going to play out, that just assumed, despite the fact that this has never worked for them, that the best player was going to do exactly what they wanted when they wanted. That was how it was going to go in their mind. Otherwise, if you knew this was possible, you trade Micah before the draft.
There we go. And that when people are putting things together, that is one of the main things that show me you did not plan to do this. You
thought you were going to sign Micah Parsons to an extension. Yeah. And if you thought that, you should have, because Jerry even said I could have. Like, but you didn't.
Offered him a deal, obviously not the one that him and his team agreed upon, but they obviously wanted to keep Micah Parsons. But the minute you believe that, because there's a possibility, and he says in his presser, which again, take a lot of this either way, with a grain of salt. Yeah, we talked about a trade possibility, early in the offseason, but we didn't talk about it with anyone else.
Todd Archer got him. I don't know if people caught so Todd Archer asked him during the presser, like, did you guys in April, like, why wasn't there any consideration, in April about this, or was there? Did you talk with other teams? When he said they didn't talk with other teams, he was like, well, we were talking to Micah in April. Like, we're going to get an extension. And Todd was like, yeah, that was the beginning of April and the draft is at the end. And Steven goes, and Jerry goes,
one day, we're talking about one day.
The day before. And he's like, no, I'm talking about 4 weeks before. But like, they didn't have a response because they think that somehow, despite the evidence of every good player they've ever had, like, I think there's a big part of it that is Jerry, Steven, the Cowboys front office, they are exhausted of being considered the team that gets their ass whipped in negotiations, because
he
that's
said as
Jerry's
much.
pride and joy. His pride and joy is that bit, the whole thing. He loves it, right? And so I believe that they're absolutely fed up with that. And so, like, they might view this as, and we've had enough, we're trading this guy. He still whipped your ass, just in a different way. You still lost. You got a way lesser return than you could have if you had done this at a right time. He got every dime he dreamed of on the shorter deal he wanted on a better football team.
I was about to say, it was a better organization. So, I mean, him and his team got the better end of the deal for them personally.
Yeah, the Cowboys lost again. They lost again. And we'll get to it, because I don't want to be, because we're football men.
Yep.
We're football men. We're content creators. We love team building. We love drafting. We love all the different things. And we want the Dallas Cowboys to win every football game. So, like, I don't want to do all of my content until the season starts on the Cowboys are stupid. And we can try to work through, like, okay, is there a way that this works out? Is there a way that this wins? But the initial reaction, there is no other reaction than you traded the best pass. I saw a great number yesterday. If Micah Parsons rushed the passer the first 268 times this season and never got a pressure, he would still have the highest pressure rate in the NFL since he came in the league.
Oh, that's insane.
If he went 268 times without getting to the quarterback or getting pressure on the quarterback, which he does about 25% of the time. So in that time, he will actually do it about 75 times. But if he got 0, he would still be the best pass rusher in the league since he got here. Like, that's just not the sort of person you trade away and then say it's because we want to get better.
Or
unless you totally suck and you suck for at least 2 and probably 3 years.
But I don't think they're going to totally suck, though.
I don't either, which is why you can't make it make sense. Like, yes, a totally tanking team with no quarterback yet. I want to win 0 games this year. I know that our window opens in 2028, 2029. Now I'm going to use and get everything I can for Parsons at the right time to trade him. I'm going to get 3 first-round picks and 2 young players from a team that's not as good as the Packers. Like, there's a Herschel Walker world where, okay, I don't have a quarterback. I don't have cornerstone players. We suck. If that's where you are, you could make the argument. But for a team that has Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and Tyler Smith, like you can't suck bad enough this year. Green Bay's not going to suck this year unless something gets really weird. It's just none of it adds up, and we just have to hope that they hit home runs with
Grand
2
slams.
draft picks or make great trades with 1 or 2 of those draft picks. But all of that relies on putting faith in good decision-making of a front office that doesn't make good decisions. That's hard.
The team he traded him to, I half jokingly, but I'm dead serious. Trading him to the Packers after how they've just owned you is just wild to me. But let's remove the helmet for a second and talk about the actual trade and compensation and whatnot. So you get back to 2 first-round picks. We'll get to Kenny Clark in a second because I do think Kenny Clark's a fantastic player. But you get the 2 first-round picks, and as you stated, you don't think that the Green Bay Packers are going to suck.
I do not think the Green Bay Packers are going to suck. I do think that the Green Bay Packers have the potential to be worse in 2 years than they are this year. Like, they are a tight against the cap, not a super aggressive cap manipulation team. Like, there's a possibility that 2 years from now, they're not as good, and that's a better pick. But that team's chasing the Super Bowl.
Yes. The Green Bay Packers have been to the playoffs 5 out of the last 6 seasons. They have not finished outside or inside, I should say, of the top 20 in the NFL draft, or they've only finished inside the top 20 NFL draft 3 times in the last 15 plus years.
Yeah, you're going to pick 27 and 25.
Yeah, this is a team that does not have any interest in being the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Raiders, and you're going to get a whole bunch of top 10 picks unless something catastrophic happens. So
quarterback would have to get hurt, and obviously I'm not putting that out there.
I mean, but Jeff, that happened last year, and they won like 3 games without.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
But what I'm getting at is, if you're being realistic here, you're talking about picks that are likely going to be in the mid to late 20s of the NFL draft, right?
Mazi and Guyton.
Mazi, Guyton. I mean, you could argue Tyler Smith as well was there, Travis Frederick or what have you. But at the end of the day, it's not this blue chip pick, which is all the reason why I was dumbfounded that you traded him to the Packers, because this is not a piss poor ran organization, and it's not a piss poor team that's going to finish with a high draft pick, barring some crazy foreseen situation. Now you could say, well, Sky, this could happen. Yeah, sure, anything can happen. Anything can happen, but all we can go off of is the data. And the data suggests that this team is likely going to be picking in the 20s.
Well, and I just wanted to throw this out there because I was reading it yesterday because I had to do some research, because Brian Broaddus had mentioned to me yesterday something about the Packers organizationally, and so I went and looked up an article from, I think it was May. And if you want to pick a team that is the most desperate to win at football this year, it's the Green Bay Packers. They're number 1 because their president said 2 things this offseason, hand in hand. 1, the head coach and the GM are not getting extensions this offseason. 2, he doesn't believe in going into lame duck seasons. So they have a head coach and a general manager with 2 years left on their deals, with a president who has outwardly said there is no extension now, and I don't believe in lame duck, which means Matt LaFleur and
Gutekunst, yeah.
Both of their jobs are literally on the line today. this season determines, are you getting an extension this offseason or are you getting fired? Because I don't believe in lame duck seasons. I think it's bad for the organization. It sets you up to fail.
And look how
you're
he moved.
Also not deserving of an extension today. This season determines the outcome of the head coach and the general manager of that football team. That's what leads to aggressively trying to win. And when the owner GM doesn't have any of that,
yes,
you get the Cowboys.
Yes. I was just about to say, and look how they move when you have that pressure. And that's everywhere. I mean, it happened with Howie. People don't realize Howie was on a hot seat. Even before the Super Bowl #1, he got demoted. And Chip Kelly took over, and that didn't work. So old boy Jeff Lurie gave him his job back. And then after the Super Bowl, they'd been on a hot seat a little bit, and that's why he got rid of the coach. And look what happened. So, yeah, pressure definitely – usually, if you're good, it from a general manager standpoint, it makes you same thing with the Rams. I forget his name, F them picks guy.
Yeah, Les Snead.
Les Snead was a bit on a hot seat a little bit, and he went out, got aggressive, and they win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, you see the formula. But
our team's comfortable, baby.
Team's comfortable. Yeah,
our team's comfortable. Life is good. Net worth is good. It's all good.
I talk about the picks though, because Jeff, I'm not interested. A lot of fans will agree and have said, "Oh, the Cowboys won't win the Super Bowl in the next couple of years anyway." I mean, I get it, but if you're admitting to punting on the seasons over the next 2 years, your organization's not doing that. So you may have looked at it as they're punting, but the organization is not, because they re-signed the quarterback, they signed the wide receiver. They offered Micah the contract. So they're not looking to punt, but they're also not looking to go all in. So it's just a weird place to be. So for me, I'm not looking to punt. I don't care about a draft pick in 2027 that we hope eventually hits by 2029. So for me personally, package a pick or two and go get some dudes, not some Jags, not an okay player. Go get me some needle movers. Some hump, get you over the hump type players with these draft picks to help you win now, Jeff, which may be harder to do, but that's how I'm looking at it, Hefe.
And again, I think that's the hard part, is that requires a belief that has not been earned by the guys who make the decisions, because you are in the wrong place for a total rebuild. And so what you're going to attempt, I would think, is the almost impossible in between. We are trying to do a retool without a step back that gets instant results. And I just don't believe in their ability to make all of the best decisions to pull it off. Is there a perfect combination of Kenny Clark's a good player? Kenny Clark helps your football team. Kenny Clark does not help your football team as much as losing Micah Parsons hurts your football team, but Kenny Clark helps your football team. If you flipped a 3 for George Pickens, I don't have the player in mind. Is there a way to flip the 1 for the right sort of player? But it's just like none of this stuff lines up, because Jerry and Steven at that press conference were over and over and over and over harping on something they've been harping on for 3 years now, which is run defense. And look, Micah being able to rush the passer, we feel like the reason we couldn't get, even when we were winning 12 games, the reason we couldn't get where we wanted to go, and there's something here, is because we couldn't stop people running the ball. Now, I would point out, Jordan Love may not have thrown the ball a ton of times in that game where they beat the Cowboys, but to get up by however many right away, it was Jordan Love that whipped your ass. Then they smashed you in the face.
Same thing happened with the Saints. People don't realize last year the Saints they weren't running the ball great early in that game. They got up, but threw the ball. But,
and then we all remember it as it's because we can't stop the run. Well, initially,
we can't.
Your secondary got shredded.
That's also true.
Right. But so now the answer to your problems from the Cowboys front office is we can figure out how to rush the passer, but we can't figure out how to stop the run if we don't have the horses to do it. But you've known that for 3 years. And there are a lot of ways to add players to an NFL team. The fact that your answer to it was to trade the best pass rusher on the planet is not the right way to do it. And then I've got people who are like, well, what if Ezraku's ready and Ezraku can be a really good pass rusher? I'd be like, that would be amazing. You know what would be more amazing? if he got to do that with Micah Parsons on the other side. Like, it's just that.
Or what would be more amazing is getting that defensive tackle that you believe is critical, and we all believe is critical in helping the run game with the Micah Parsons. And that's what they went out and got the defensive tackle that we all been saying, hey, we need help at the defensive tackle spot. But no one thought in their right mind it would be with losing your best player. And
it didn't need to be.
It didn't need.
It didn't need to be.
I honestly think you could have gotten Kenny Clark with. Period. You could have traded for Kenny Clark with regular draft picks.
You could have traded for Kenny. You've had 3 off seasons to do something, but you've been stuck on this. And I do think.
I mean, and I hope even for those who are pro Jerry Jones front office and pro trade, I hope you're not buying the bullshit about the whole run defense thing, because you knew your run defense was bad, as you said, for 3 years, but we're not going to go 3 years. You knew it was bad at the end of the season. You knew it was bad in January, February, March, April. You didn't bring in the personnel to address that. You didn't. So don't feed me the BS. And the other thing that is also BS, it says, well, you can scheme up pressure. We talked about scheming up pressure. I'm like, do you not know your own defensive coordinator? This is dead serious.
Oh yeah, you mean Mr. Rush 4?
Do you not, Joneses, know your own defensive coordinator? That is not his MO. Has never been his MO. He's not a guy that schemes up pressure. He's a guy that actually does the reverse, Jeff.
Yeah.
He schemes up run defense.
Because what they're trying to do is fit their new words to what they've already done.
Yeah.
Because you can't explain what they did, because what actually happened is the owner got butthurt. And I want to shout out to Stephen Jones. I'll probably never do this again in my life.
Okay.
I want to shout out to Stephen Jones one time.
All right.
Because, and I warned you about this before, like, I don't like how much I talk bad about Jerry Jones, but it's just he is the biggest issue, and so I can't stop myself. And I'm so sorry if you love.
I have a rule for me. Once the season starts, I don't care. I don't talk about the front office because
that's great.
We have to overcome it.
That's great.
That's my thing. Like, I don't talk about it because we got to overcome it until trade deadline. Then we got to talk about it because they got to make a move. But
I want to shout out to Steven, because like it's like it's a sensitive real life topic, which is like, so you kind of joke about it, but you're careful with it. Like, Jerry Jones doesn't know players' names. He's 82 years old and the best player on his team. He can't say his effing name. Like, and Steven finally at that press conference, like, said it in all caps. When Jerry said Michael for the 7th time, Steven goes, Micah. And I was just like,
that shit
yeah, let's get grandpa together. Like,
Tyler Badass.
Boy, Steven don't know that name either. And it's just, I want the Cowboys to win. They're my team.
Let me go back to the pressure situation. In Chicago, they ranked in 2022 31st in pressure percentage. In 2023, 26th in pressure percentage.
Oh, he forgot to scheme it up?
That's not what he does. So I was just so I was very dumbfounded with him saying that in regards to, oh, well, we're going to mitigate losing Micah with pressure percentage. And look, the depth of the defensive line room is extremely attractive, in my opinion, when Micah's in it. That was the whole point of the depth. I had this conversation behind the scenes with somebody else, like, I'm excited. I think this has a potential to be an elite pass rush because you have the best guy rushing the passer with depth behind it. I still like the pieces, but now they're just pieces that, okay, I'm hoping, all right, Sam, I really wasn't relying on you. Whatever you gave us was a bonus. No, dog, need you now. All right, Donovan Izarako, really wasn't relying on you. I was just hoping you could be a designated pass rusher. Nope, we need you to. You got to be the guy now. Dante Fowler over the last, 5-6 years of his career has been nothing but a designated pass rusher. And I was fine with that because you know what I mean? You got Micah Parsons in the room. No. Dante, you're going to have to be a 70. You're going to have to play on first down like 75% of the time probably now, right? I mean, that's your starter now, right? He played on first down, early downs, Jeff, 44% of the time.
Nealand? I mean, and not like.
Well, Nealand was always going to be your starter as that run guy, but I'm talking about the pass rush aspect. Nealand.
Oh yeah. You're going to be Ezeraku and Fowler.
Ezeraku, Fowler, and Sam.
Sam inside. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Osa and Kenny can both stay. Well,
I'm just talking about edge wise.
Right.
But transitioning to the inside, and this is I don't know Dallas if they're going to treat him like this. I hope not. I remember when Anthony Davis got traded with Luka Doncic. There was a huge uproar, and people didn't like Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was a great NFL or NBA player. But then you got the Anthony Davis experience in that game with the injuries.
Yeah.
There was legitimate concern about that part, but the actual play, he could play. This is the same thing in a sense with Kenny Clark. He's legitimately a good player. Like I don't want people to bash him, and I'm not going to bash him in that sense. A 10-year veteran coming off of a down year because he played with a foot injury. I think it was a bone spurs he had. He was dealing with a bunion, I think, in bone spurs. Hopefully,
he jacked up a toe on a field in Brazil.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't follow him. But Kenny Clark is going to improve your interior. Kenny Clark next to Osa Odighizuwa is going to be fun to watch. He's more of a pass rush specialist, but this dude's a terror that can also be good in the run game. Let's kind of talk about him real quick, if you will. Very active, right? I mean, you're talking.
I watched
your notes.
Yeah.
I'll talk about what I saw. Very active guy. Because I'm up. You know, I knew about Kenny, but when you trade for him, say, all right, now let's cook up this film. Yeah. And you see a dude who can get after. You talk about a scheme fit. I think this is a scheme fit for Mike for Flus.
Yes.
In regards to interior, he's not your 340-pound guy that Flus had in Billings or had in Javon Dexter in Chicago. But he's still 310, 315-ish, right? He's still a heavier guy.
They list him at 314. I mean, and maybe he is. I think he plays. I don't want to say he plays light.
He looks small, but
he doesn't. You're not. He doesn't scream 315 when he lines up. But he's not. He's
not 285. He's not 290.
Right.
Like he's legitimate.
He's
a legitimate 3-tech.
Yeah.
And you sure you have a 3-tech already, but this is what they want. They want guys that attack upfield, and Kenny can do that, man.
He's the nose. He's your nose.
Oh yeah. He's probably gonna play 2-eye a lot more than right over the center. But,
right.
Yeah.
And, as somebody who doesn't watch Packer games religiously, I didn't know. Like I've seen Kenny Clark play. I'm familiar with Kenny Clark's game. And but when you trade for a guy, the first thing you do is you look up his name. And so what you get is the stats, and you see, oh, that's a guy that's on the decline. I will say the one thing that I will not do, that I don't do, and I don't think anybody should do, don't just look up a Pro Football Focus grade and spout it off and say that this is what the guy is. Don't do that. And so I turned on the tape and I watched 2 games of Kenny Clark last year, and the ones that I picked were actually Detroit and Detroit.
It's funny. I watched Eagles first, both Eagles games.
I wanted the good O-lines.
Yeah, I wanted to see. Because Cowboys put the Eagles in week 1. So I wanted to see, how did the Packers do against the Eagles?
I just wanted to see him against a good offensive line, and I happened to pick the later in the season Detroit game, and 2 plays in, I was like, guys, stop saying that this guy's washed.
Just people saying he's washed?
Oh, God, yes. People got his Pro Football Focus grade. It was like a 50-something. And they were like, oh, he can't play anymore. He's done.
You could argue he's on the other side of his career because that's legitimate. He's not an ascending player. Clearly not going to happen at 10 years in the league. But he ain't washed. No.
All right, so here's I'm going to do this broadest style where I'm just going to read all the words that I wrote while I was watching him. And some of it gets repetitive because that's just the way it goes. I'm just typing things as he's playing.
Sure.
Dominant's too strong of a word for him, but still a solid NFL starter. Full-size D-tackle, but he moves like a 285 guy. Has an understanding of the leverage game, isn't going to get bullied, won't necessarily do the bullying either, plays hard as hell, plays a ton of snaps, incredibly active and accurate with hands, does things the right way, fires off the ball, plays low. Awareness of where the ball is. I see a lot of 3-tech traits in a guy who they call a 1-technique. He will get moved here and there, but not like the guys we watch get walked 5 yards downfield on Dallas. He'll stay with it, stay assignment sound, keeps working to the play. He's more spry than just overpower you. You're going to love the motor. He doesn't stop playing. Will not overwhelm with power, but holds ground pretty well, keeps himself extended, works to the right place. When he dips a shoulder to try to win on a rush, still has the flexibility and core strength to pivot around, keep going where the ball's going. Good player, got better as the year went along, fighting through a jacked up foot. That's Kenny Clark. He's good.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. He's a good player. It's just hard because it's like Micah Parsons is gone. You got a good D tackle.
Yeah. And I think you've corrected your D tackle mess. I don't think I don't want to turn this into a Mazi Smith show, but I did find it fascinating that coach talked about the 46 with him. Now with Kenny Clark in the room, you hear how he talks about Perion Winfrey. I don't know that he dresses on Thursday. I don't know how he dresses. Yeah. I mean, how? Solomon Thomas, Osa Odighizuwa, Kenny Clark, Perion Winfrey, and they're probably going to roll with that's probably it, actually, now I think about it, because they're going to probably play some of these guys on the interior from the edge when they want to rush the passer. I don't know if they're going to dress 5 defensive tackles.
Will they play Toya? Did you say Toya? Will they play Toya?
I didn't, because I don't know if they'll put him on a 46.
And did you say Mazi?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how why would he dress
I don't
when
know.
you literally
No,
have 4 defensive tackles that are better than him in front of him? The
Yeah.
fifth defensive tackle is not going to see the field that much in a game.
No, he won't.
And he's not like a 6'7" guy you put on special teams that can block kicks.
No.
So I think this is their admitting that, okay, yeah, this is not our guy of the future. And Kenny Clark is going to be the immense upgrade, and let's roll. What I found fascinating, if you don't mind, while all this is happening, to clear spots for certain players, instead of saying, okay, we'll wash our hands here with that position or somebody in that room, they waived Ryan Flournoy.
We got 4 receivers, baby, and one of them's a bit player.
Look, you can try to put lipstick on a pig for a lot of these things. I have nothing. I don't know why they did this. Hopefully he'll clear waivers, right, and get him back on the practice squad. But to make room for some of these players, you, instead of waiving a guy that you've just literally waved a flag with, saying, okay, he's not the guy of the future here because Kenny Clark is signed for 3 years.
Yeah.
You waived the guy you just praised, and we all believe has some potential if you don't bring back a Pickens or whatever to elevate in that room. You waived him, and you have 4 receivers, and one of them is a 5'7" or 8" receiver that does running back things. So it just
the Flournoy one
situation.
It's interesting, the Flournoy thing. I would say I did a little tiny research project the other day. Wide receivers who get waived at cut down day, you're almost always safe.
Yeah.
You probably will I haven't looked on the internet today for Flournoy because there's too much Micah stuff. I would imagine he makes it to the practice squad and they got to do whatever they got to do for this game against Philly to get whoever they got to get up there. And I would imagine that Flournoy will be around, but 4 is a real low number for wide receivers to go into a game.
And for a guard, Jeff, I would love for them to have asked that, but I get it. It's a Micah Parsons press conference and things like that.
And nobody was going to ask in that presser,
No.
hey, Flournoy and a line.
Only diabolical Cowboy fans that are in the trenches like this is asking, hey, why do we sign a 3rd string guard and waive our honestly probably 4th best receiver on the team right now? Like what is that about? When you have TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman, and guys on the practice squad, you're like, but this is strange. It was a strange job.
Can I ask a dumb question?
I always ask dumb questions. Go ahead.
So I watched the first half hour of the presser until NFL Network cut away. And so if you were watching a Cowboys feed or a local feed, I know it kept going and I saw whatever relevant quotes were later. But it was just them two, right? It was just Steven and Jerry?
At the presser, yes.
That tells you everything you need to know about this trade. They always go up with Will McClay, the head coach. They go up with those guys. Everybody didn't want to do this.
No, again,
everybody didn't want to do this.
There's so much cap in the presser but a lot of Cowboy fans eat this up. And I said this the other day, prior to this trade. I think now some fans are more mixed again. I said Jerry Jones did the greatest face turn in the history of this 30-year drought. The greatest face turn with the Netflix documentary and going on the media tour. I think most fans were just tired and over Jerry's shit. But the Netflix documentary and the media tour, I think, has turned a lot of fans back to Jerry Jones. And now this trade, I feel like it's more of a mix. But what a fantastic job in with the media and the Netflix situation. Fantastic.
Well,
the dude's a genius.
I guess that's just a fascinating study in how you're wired or your experiences or whatever, because I watched the documentary and I really enjoyed it. And I think at times, obviously, Jerry's really likable. But I think it was 8 episodes of him confirming and telling on himself about a lot of the negative things about him and why he's not capable of doing this job. But I do agree, there's a lot of, and you can see it in the chat, and I try to be cognizant of it because I guess I'm just so confident and loudly very pro one side and anti one side here for so many different reasons. I'm really surprised the amount of they had to do this. Micah's not worth it. One dimensional. What about the Green Bay game? All of these different things. When I take all of those and I put them in the other bucket, Micah Parsons is not the problem. He's the biggest part of the solution to winning. But if you take 4 years of being the best pass rusher on the planet, play in and play out, if you take a guy who, when he's on the field, they're the best defense in the sport, and when he's off, they're the worst, over the entirety of his plays as a Dallas Cowboy, his whole career, 1-32.
And this is an EPA statistic he is talking about, y'all. So this isn't him just saying that is
No.
the EPA per play. When he's on the field, the Cowboys are really good defense.
Over 4 years, if Micah Parsons is on the field for the Cowboys, they're the number one defense in EPA per play. The moment he steps off, this is inside an individual game. It's not like he's hurt. Plays on, plays off. 1 with him, 32 without him. Now, I guess I get the case that you say, what if I want to take that stat and do this with it? I can't have it be that big of a difference. I don't have nearly enough good players. Then I'd turn around and find a different reason to be mad at Jerry, because you didn't maximize the value of even trying to get better because of how you went about this and when you made the trade and all that. But no, I see a lot of Micah negativity. And I guess somehow I'm surprised that coming out of the documentary, so many people took that pro Jerry and managed to become anti best pass rusher on the planet. Is he a perfect run defender? No. Is he a better run defender than everybody who says he sucks at it? By a mile.
It's
the amount of tackles for loss and chase down plays. Yeah, sure. If you are double teaming him at the point of attack, Micah's going to get overwhelmed at times.
Sure.
But pretending that Micah Parsons is a terrible run defender is a lie.
It is.
Like that's just made up.
It's the echo chamber that people just roll with it. And now again the face turn, right? Now Jerry is leaning into that. And people are eating this thing up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear. This isn't a Micah problem. It's not even a Mazi Smith problem. It is an organizational problem. They do not really respect run defense. They're trying to sell that to you right now to justify the move. I don't need you to lie to me. It's okay to move on from play. In fact, they have not done it a bunch. But yes, I wish they would have they fleeced somebody else. I wish it would have been to a different team. And for those who keep stating, oh, well, Cowboys aren't going to be anything over the next couple of years anyway. Punt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, then it doesn't matter if you got Kenny Clark, if you feel that way, because Kenny Clark has 3 years left on his deal and he's going to be 32, 33 years old by that time. And he won't matter when all of a sudden these picks are going to matter. And you believe this organization is going to get aggressive, I suppose. So you have to understand the frustration of the process to me. You got to pick a side, man. Are you going to be the organization that is aggressive and go for the gusto? Or are you going to be the organization that is going to punt and start this whole thing over? They don't want to be either of those. And what happens is you get stuck in this hamster wheel, and then they try to gaslight you about it. I see past the BS. I see past it. So pick a damn side, front office, and go with it. If we're all in, show me that. This isn't an all-in move to me. It's a rebuild move, like a lot of y'all are saying. But then George Pickens is an all-in type of move. Signing Dak Prescott's an all-in.
Quarterback's locked in, and he's locked in.
What are we doing?
We don't have a plan. But I will I do think that this is. I enjoy the reactions from a lot of different people. I like football from a lot of different ways. The people who know the people involved, the people, I'm a data nerd, but also a film. I like it from a lot of different ways. I think the guy who nailed what happened with this trade, do not pretend this is anything other than this. The reason they didn't get the compensation they should, the reason they didn't trade him when they should, the reason that they turned away their chance to sign him even with 1 week to go when Micah and David Mulligetta came back to them, comes down to this. Sky, I would imagine you're familiar with Don Van Natta. Don Van Natta is a writer at ESPN.
Okay.
Every time there's like the owner meetings,
shouts out to Don.
and there's no one else in the room, Don Van Natta still knows every word that was said in that meeting. And if Don Van Natta writes a story about you, you want to get out of town for 6 months because he's about to burn your house down. Like he's the investigative reporter from hell if he's coming for you. And he knows everything. And he's doing a Jerry Jones book that was announced last year with Jerry's permission. So he knows Jerry. He's followed Jerry. He's been with Jerry. He's interviewed Jerry. He knows him. Don Van Natta. Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys by shaking hands with Bum Bright. Micah Parsons committed to a contract extension with Jerry on a handshake. When Parsons reneged, Jerry decided Parsons would never again wear the star on his helmet. If Jerry can't trust you, you're done. I've had conversations with Jerry about the handshake deal with Bum Bright, the sanctity of it. It took weeks to draw up the paperwork, 2 months before the owners approved Jerry. Bright trusted Jerry. Jerry trusted Bright. It was an article of faith. He's old school. You break that with Jerry, and that's it. It's over. That's how this happened. Not we think our run defense is going to be better. Not that was our problem. Not Micah's not worth it. What happened is the 82-year-old who used to make deals a certain way in the 1980s thought he got around an agent and got something done. And then when he was told, right, call the guy who negotiates that, he said, oh my God, you lied to me? We had a deal. What happened here was a very old school person trying to operate in 1989 instead of 2025. And so now we hope they do the best they can with what they got. But that's why Micah Parsons got traded, not some other reason. It is not because he's not good enough or not worth it or whatever reason they want to give you. It's because Jerry decided the exact same thing he decided with Jimmy Johnson. You were not loyal to me. You're done. That's what happened.
I think you're 100% correct here. And I mentioned this to you off air. And look, I'm not mad at Cowboy fans for this ire because we're humans, and I feel like human emotions happen. What has happened, I think, within the nation is you've become numb to being angry at the one thing that has held this team back for 30 years. That has been the one constant. I think people have become numb to it. So as humans, we need to feel that rage. We need to focus our anger somewhere else to feel that rage and be upset so it can outwardly come out. So what happens? Tony Romo, you
need that dopamine hit?
That dopamine hit. Dak Prescott, you suck. Jason Garrett, you suck. Mike McCarthy, you suck. Shotty Hammer, you suck. Kellen Moore, you suck. Micah Parsons, you suck. CeeDee Lamb, you're not a wide receiver one. DeMarcus Lawrence can't rush the passer no more. Sean Lee, you're always hurt. DeMarcus Ware, get out of here. And yes, y'all wanted to get DeMarcus Ware out of here. I remember that. Went on to win the Super Bowl. Et cetera, right? All the hundreds of players that come in, we get a new dopamine hit of anger to focus it on. And the more and more it happens, the further away the one thing that continues to stick around and that continues to hire the coach and continues to draft the players and continues to not be aggressive in free agency and continues to not put the pride and ego aside and continues to not hire a general manager to put him on a hot seat if things don't happen and continues to run this thing like a mom and pop shop, that person stays and the distance of that anger fades away. And next thing you know, you find yourself, oh, well, you know what? We did have a couple good teams here. And you start focusing it elsewhere to feel something because the Dallas Cowboys aren't giving you anything good to feel in regards to playoff success. But if I can feel something, then damn it, I'm going to focus that energy on that. And that's what's happening right now. And I just see past it. So the way I get by it, I allow Cowboy fans to say what they need to say about the Joneses, say what is in the front office. I feel how I feel about them. And my whole thing for years has been, hey, we just have to overcome it. If you can't understand that the coaches and the players have to overcome how this organization is structured, you're missing the entire point of how this hierarchy goes. So once the season starts, hey, y'all, it is what it is. This is what they put out there. We've got to overcome it. And then once the offseason gets back around, we focus back onto why we are here.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that part. And I will, by the time you get through this season and get to the draft, boy, I'll be giddy. I love drafting. I get excited. And honestly, next year and the year after, allegedly, according to others, I don't know yet. This year's draft wasn't very good. I knew that pretty early when we were talking about who they were going to pick at 12. There was a reason that I was like, you know what? Tyler Booker might not be a bad pick because it's safe, because it was not a great year. But let me get 2 years with multiple picks. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have a good time.
I tell people all the time, I have people ask me a lot, especially around here, why do you keep doing this? Why do you? Dog, I'm not letting Jerry and them dim my light for my love of the sport and the Cowboys. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I love this sport. I love this team. I don't love Jerry Jones. There's people that actually love Jerry Jones. They love
for sure.
And they look at him and he's like, oh no, he is the Cowboys, not to me. He's not the Cowboys to me. So I don't have a problem, feeling some type of way and compartmentalizing that.
And I think you almost have to, but that almost feels kind of wrong to me because what you are doing is supporting the exact way that they do business with your football team that you want to win. And so it's not great that the way that they treat it is as a money-making machine, but they're also, it's weird. It's like, how detached or how involved do I want to be with fandom? Because if your fandom and your team winning and wanting to win and trying to win is what matters, you should despise Jerry Jones. If you want to back way out and just be a human and say, what if I were a business owner and I risked everything? And then what happened from it is I turned it into a really big success. I make a ton of money. My family gets to work with me. Like, it's a wonderful story for that person and their family. But if all you want is your local sports team to want to win, you should despise Jerry, because that's not the way they're playing it. The way, like, there are teams that is what they want. Jerry went from one end of the spectrum to the exact other. When he first came into the league, he was desperate to win, and he thought that that was what was going to help him not have to sell a team that was losing money. And then he found out that what really worked was playing up Hollywood. And he even said it in the documentary. He's like, ooh, now I found it. This is how we make money. It's the sponsorship. It's the visibility. It's all these different things. And he realized where the actual win is. And that's where he wins now. And I don't know what to do with that. Like, I don't cheer.
It is tough
I don't cheer for Jerry Jones. I want the Cowboys to win because I was raised in Dallas, Texas. So that is the team. I got into sports radio in Dallas, Texas. So it's the team I've covered. It's the team I've analyzed, and I don't want to change that. This is the team that I talk about.
I mean, it's tough when you want them to do and focus on football things, when you hear your general manager and owner come out and say we're a soap opera 300. That's kind of embarrassing. Like, you admitting that your organization is ran as a soap opera, and when things aren't going great, you stir it up. And it's not talk. If it was just talk, you'd be like, oh, that's Jerry. It's not. You know, he's come out multiple times and said it. He's talking about how if they're talking about us, we're doing our job. Like, I'm sorry, I can't get over that. Like, we're doing our job if they're talking about, you don't hear the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Detroit Lions, the Patriots, the Colts when they were winning, the Steelers. That's not how they operate. The Packers, that's not how, they don't care about that, because when you win, you know what comes with winning, all that extra stuff. You know, I hear a lot, oh, well, players got to love being in Dallas because of sponsorships. Fam, Green Bay is the smallest town in the National Football League. Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl, and he gets discount double checks everywhere. I see Aaron Rodgers every other goddamn commercial.
The world is smaller now. We do have the internet.
The Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns, and I saw Baker Mayfield on my TV every other hour.
Yeah.
So that's BS. And well, Sky, he can, real estate. Yes, all that's cool, but do you think these players don't have businesses outside of the Cowboys too and other organizations? So you can't feed these guys that BS anymore. You can't feed it to me, but if y'all want to buy it, you can buy it.
See, I do think you can feed it to a lot of people. You can feed it to a lot of players still. Fair. I do think there has been benefits in being tied to Jerry in terms of real estate stuff and him helping you with businesses or whatever, and invisibility too a little bit. Like, I do think those things exist a little bit. I'm shocked the number of young, like, draft eligible players that are still starstruck and they want to be Cowboys. That's wild to me. But shout out to Jerry. Like, that's the brand that he built. He crushed it. He crushed it at building a brand.
Dude he's a fantastic moneymaker and owner in that sense. There's no questions about it.
And he's famous. Like, that's the most
famous owner probably in sports.
The most important thing for Jerry. And this is, as a therapy man, I'm supposed to be understanding of everyone, and I really try to be. But it's a real big character flaw to have got to 82 years old. And what you have to be is the main character. That's a massive character flaw. But that's
Jeff, let me ask you real quick. I know you gotta get going here soon. Let me know what your heart out is.
I'm good. I mean, just a few minutes or whatever.
But gotcha. So I give you my opinion on what I would love to do with the picks. I know it's a weird area, because are you going to be able to get guys at this point in time to really help you out? I don't know if teams are going to be willing to do it or what have you, or you have to overpay and you're not really good in that arena. You've shown
it's the wrong time to trade picks, especially.
You've shown you're not that great in the trading arena. It is what it is. what would you do with said picks to help your squad out? If not this year, I want to know this year, Jeff. If not this year, at least for 26. I don't think anyone really quite cares about 27 because we're trying to win in this next 2 years.
I think it's a wait and see. I think you've already got conspiracy theories that it's like, yeah, Arch Manning, 2026 or 2027. But even that is like, that doesn't work. I mean, anything like there is part of me that's like, okay, what if the whole idea behind this is it actually is the secret blow up where it's how are we going to get our next quarterback? And we need the draft capital to pull that off. And so why not prepare for that? But even that, let's say, just for fun, Arch Manning do we want to put him in this year's draft or the next one? I don't know which one he's going to be in.
I know.
If he wins the Heisman, I could see him coming out.
Yeah,
People with Texas are going to be like, no, he'd never come out.
One. Yeah.
All right, let's say, sweet. You now have 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. The Saints go 2-15. I don't care how many picks you offer them. They need the quarterback. Like, so that doesn't work unless you're tanking. Teams at the top usually need a quarterback. You're not going to win that battle to trade up, even if it's a team that just drafted a quarterback and they suck. Fine. They'll go to team who has the second or third pick, which won't be you or Green Bay, and then extra picks from them. So like even they want to replace Dak. The dream scenario is that 2 years from now, you get, because this does happen. This happens like Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen,
Somebody
some
like
of
that
the
falls.
Lamar Jackson went 32. Maybe the one 2 years from now finds you your future quarterback in the first round. And a year from now, the year from now one is hard because I'd love to make this team better right now. But the Cowboys are the only dumbasses who think you're going to trade first round draft picks right now. Like nobody is going to trade you for a first round draft pick because they have no idea how good you're going to be. Like, what is the value of these picks right now? Teams assume that Green Bay will pick in the 20s. With the Cowboys, they probably assume in the teens. It's hard to move it, and it's hard to know what you want to do with it until you get like to the trade deadline. So I like having draft capital, but I think it's impossible to have a plan for what you're going to do with it yet. I mean, we can start spitballing positions on where they need help, but I don't know that you can have a plan until you know how good you are, what you want, what you need, what other people need.
I think you can have a plan if it's part of your philosophy as an organization. We've seen it with Baltimore. We've seen it with Philly. We've seen it with Kansas City. Like these guys aren't afraid to wheel and deal, whether it's before the offseason or after the season, during the season. I do think that you can have a plan, but like I said, even the people that are holistically on that side, do you really believe that they have that? That they've shown you they had that, and they've shown they've had a good plan over the last 15 years or whatever you want to go. So, like I said, for me, I would like to move the players or move one, maybe not two, but at least one for a player to come in here. That would be what I would like to do. Right now, it's going to be tough though.
Maybe a nice pass rusher.
Hendrickson. But then guess what?
I was just me talking shit. Yeah, maybe you need
no,
nice
dead serious. I mean, what we talk about here? Yes.
Because that's what you said it earlier in the show. And when I tell you yesterday, it punched me right in the face. I think it was yesterday because we were just spitballing the idea of if they were going to trade Parsons. I was the exact same way that you were when he existed on this team. I was like, well, their best group is probably their edge rushers. It's a good group. Micah, and then like I like Fowler, and I really like what Ezraku looks like. Sam Williams has potential, and like Nealand is a run player. Like you're going down this list, and it's like, man, I really like that group. You're like, all right, do it without Micah. And you're like, we suck. That changed everything.
No, I wouldn't say we suck, but it's
you have a bunch of rotational dudes.
Yeah, you're lying to yourself if you feel the same way about it. And if it was a scheme where, we're being diabolical up front, there's all types of things. We bring in another guy. Awesome, let's roll. That's not Flus. I'm interested to see if he has to now change that.
Did you see the Green Bay? Did you see the number on Micah Parsons when he lines up as a mugging linebacker?
It's unbelievable.
I don't love PFF grades. I just thought it was funny because they will put the linebacker up in the front and then blitz him. And so now they have the top two guys at doing that.
Rashawn Gary.
Which edgerrin do they have? Cooper.
Edgerrin Cooper.
92.3 doing that, and Micah Parsons 99.9, the two best in the league. So like they have a plan for what they're going to do with their players.
For sure.
And the Cowboys are now going to generate pressure with a DC who doesn't generate pressure without the players to generate pressure. That's their plan. Sounds like a team that just traded a guy because they were pissed at him.
My last, I don't want to say question, but just throw this out to you and then some fans in the chat or whatever. Because again, I do think there is a good amount of people who really love this trade, and I would love to talk to them in that. Or do you love this trade for right now, as in this is going to help the Cowboys get over the hump, or you sticking to your thoughts of this isn't a Super Bowl team, this isn't a playoff team, this isn't a deep playoff team? If so, then we're talking about what, Jeff, 3-4 years from now being that kind of Super Bowl. I don't know how they feel. I would love to know how they feel.
And I would like long form answers in the comments, because I don't like what I don't like doing. And we are kind of geared this way as humans, especially online, is I want to be able to ask people that and not be like gearing up to fight back.
No,
I want the actual
curious
thoughts.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. And I forgot where I was going to go, but I had yeah. So like if it's, no, I forgot again, but yeah, it's like, yeah, Micah's.
Because here's what I think, initially when these things happens, your emotional reaction, whether you hate it or you don't hate it, you're like, oh man, I love this because we got 2 first-round picks. I love this because we got Kenny Clark. But then, okay, boom, when that dies down and the reality sets in and context is now provided, are you still standing on whatever it is that you believe prior, which is prior you believe, well, and they say, I hear it all the time, oh, we're not winning the Super Bowl with Micah anyway. Are you winning the Super Bowl with Kenny Clark?
Right.
Are you winning the Super Bowl with 2 picks that aren't here, one that's not going to be here for like, so if you believe the Cowboys team wasn't good enough, you're conceding on punting the season this year. Okay, that's 1 year. Do you believe now next year that's going to be a Super Bowl team? Or are you in the process? Oh, we're rebuilding. So if you're rebuilding, if you believe in the future, that's probably what, 3-4 years down the line. And by that time, Dak Prescott's probably out of here. CeeDee Lamb's a little bit older. You got to pay other players. There is context and there's a domino effect to this situation that I don't know if people are really thinking about, which is the frustration for me, because it goes back to what do you want to do, Dallas? It doesn't feel like you know what you want to do. You're just doing shit. You're just reacting to shit, and you're not being proactive and having a legitimate full plan of attack to win the Super Bowl. That's what I would love to talk to people about on where you stand on this.
And I guess my thing with it is, because what I see a lot of is that like Micah is like Green Bay game, number of sacks in playoff games, not worth the money, and things like that.
Yeah.
And what I would ask is, I would ask people to examine, do you really believe, with the access that we have to how good Micah Parsons is at this sport, however you want to measure it, being the only guy other than Reggie White with 12 sacks every year to start his career, being the only guy to be in a Pro Bowl his first 4 years and then be traded, being the pass rush win rates, the best in the league, the best pressure player in football, better run defender than you give him credit for if you're just hating on him. Like all of these different things. And in your real thoughts, if you're not just like angry online fighting about the Cowboys, do you believe that Micah Parsons isn't good enough or isn't worth it? Or is he the current target of your ire about 30 years of the Cowboys not being good enough to win in the postseason of the Super Bowl?
The latter.
Because, and I even I'll give you more leeway with Dak. I like Dak. I liked Romo. Really nice NFL quarterbacks. I'm not looking to move on from a franchise quarterback. They're really good. But yeah, if you want to bitch about salaries or whatever, feel free. And say that if I have the 10th best quarterback, oh my God, I wish we were better at quarterback. But to do it with the guy who is the best.
To draw the line now.
Mike is the best pass rusher on planet Earth. What a weird place to pretend he's the problem. It's just really
and
weird.
Make no mistake about it. That press conference, they all but tried to say that. And from a football standpoint, we know that's not the case. If there's behind the scenes things, if there's ego things, I would have respected Jerry more if he would have just flat out say, yeah, I didn't like the disloyalty here, and we decided to move on. I would have.
I would have blasted him for it, but
so I would have respected that more though, because don't lie to my face, man.
Yeah,
like don't come on the press conference and tell me this is about run defense when you knew your run defense has been ass for so long prior to Micah Parsons being here. and you didn't take it serious enough
and don't pretend Kenny Clark's Dexter Lawrence. Kenny Clark's a good player.
Crazy thing is Kenny Clark is actually a fantastic pass rushing 3-tech.
Right. He's
who else is a fantastic pass rushing 3-tech?
Osa
Diggy
yeah. I like Kenny Clark. Here's one thing. We do have one rule. This is not Kenny Clark's fault.
No.
It's not Anthony Davis's fault. You're a Cowboy fan. Support your players.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, I'm going to let you get going. You got some other things you got to do. Cowboys Nation on this side of things. By the way, shout out to 1,300 people that watch us here, man. Appreciate
Skywalker
you.
Steel Unleashed. If you're on my channel, Skywalker Steel Unleashed on YouTube. I'm pointing the wrong way, aren't I?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Jeff up out of here. I'm gonna not reset. I'm gonna stay here, y'all. And I want to open up the phone lines. I want and have you guys call in. And I'll kick back and I'll listen to you guys. I already went on a tangent the last two days, 2 nights, whatever you want to call it. And let y'all get y'all. I hate Micah Parsons. I hate Jerry Jones. He sucks in the playoffs, or he's great. Whatever y'all want to say about it, get it off y'all chest, man. So, Jeff, appreciate you, brother. If you're over on Jeff's side and you want to keep rocking, come on over here, man.
Can I do one thing?
Yeah.
When you call in to talk to Sky, I want you to answer this question, and I hope I'm allowed to play audio on this stream that he's hosting. All we need to know, is this trade the hot dog or is it the bun?
No, this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog, too.
That's what we need to know. All right, have a great day. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. I love you. Be easy.
Appreciate you, Jeff. All right, y'all. Stay put over here. We're going to end the stream for Jeff. Let me, hold on, Jeff. You're still here. Give me a second. I don't want you to say nothing crazy. All right. Jeff's stream is ending and has ended. I'm going to set up. All right, man. Love you, man. I'm going to set up. Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. I'm going to set up my side of things. Let me get up out of here. I told Jeff, I said, I don't know if I'm going to open the lines yet. Oh, shoot. You know what? It ain't going to be long either. I forgot I got some things I got to get to, but that's fine. I'm going to open them up anyway. I do want to allow Cowboys Nation to get their thoughts off here. Okay, let me set this up. Please, please, please bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Oh, it's doing this BS. Can y'all still hear me, by the way? Give me a thumbs up if I'm still here. Give me a thumbs up if I'm still here. Because I feel like... All right, yeah, I feel like my stream is acting a little funky. You can't hear me? All right, appreciate it. It is definitely acting a little funny right now. Okay. All right, cool. It did something. I'm just trying to get my camera up right now, y'all. That's all I'm really trying to do. And then I'm going to open up these phone lines. So, boom. We here. All right. Let me open up these phone lines right quick. For those who don't know, the phone line. Oh, by the way, hell, I might as well show you. I was going to talk about the Eagles the other day, but this will be on Monday. But this is what it's going to look like. Shouts out to Sleeper. We'll get into all that in a second. In fact, we're just going to go here with it. Open up the line. 351-999-3787 is the phone lines for your minds, as my boy Law would say. Record. Boom. Uh-oh. Mute. Check. Too loud. Oh, shit. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Bad the mic. Got to whisper. All right, we back. I probably was mad loud in y'all ear. Here we go. Everything adjusted. Everything cool. My bad for blowing y'all ears out just now. Had to figure this thing. I wasn't going to do the phones, but I've set it up so we good to go. We're gonna give it about a half hour. So let's see. All right, let's wrap to JR. What's up with you, bro? JR, you all right, bro? Shit. All right, I'm genuinely concerned. 'Cause either you're a grade A Oscar award-winning actor or you are legitimately hurt over there. Hold up.
Still waiting up.
All right, we got JR back.
thing, dog. What he doing, dog?
Damn.
Now, I ain't going to do that. We trying to win right now. We trying to win right now. And you're going to get the best player on the team away. You're going to give him away for a 10-year Kenny Clark. Man, I don't even know, dog. I don't even know, dog.
Hey, man,
What we going to do?
I'm giving you a virtual hug right now, big dog. It's going to be all right, man. I mean, we might not be all right in the long run, but maybe we will. Who knows? But your life is going to be all right, big dog.
My son hurt. I had to drop my son out, man. He was walking back to the car. When you drop your baby off, he looked back at the car. I waved at him. He just put his head down and walked in the building, dog. You know what kind of hurt that is for a father?
Damn.
You know you paid that to me this morning. That's all right, though. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna push through, Jay.
Right.
We're gonna push through.
We're gonna be all right.
Yeah, tell your son, this is part of life. This is part of football. It happens. I mean, your best players sometimes they get traded. Sometimes they get hurt. Sometimes it don't work out. This sports.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you think he want to play football no more? He talking about gymnastics now.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
You know, I might be looking at a barber shop. I got a lot. My bad. I'm sorry, Scott. Hey,
no, you good, bro.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna call back in when you come back, man. Y'all hit that like, hit that share, that subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? We unleashed to the top. How about them Cowboys?
I shouldn't be laughing, bro. Because I can't tell if this mofo is serious. If y'all don't know who JR is, the dude does fantastic impressions. Die-hard Cowboy fan. I've met him in real life. Owns a great barbecue joint. But damn. I got nothing, man. I hope I got nothing. Tell your son to keep his head up, JR, if we really hurting. Gymnastics is wild, though. We don't need to nothing against gymnasts. But boy, talk about football to gymnastics. That's real hurt, bro. 970, you are live.
Hey, Skyler, I watched you guys on Unleashed last night. I didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Me either, bro.
After that, Joe Foots got on a little bit, so I watched him, But my stomach is not. Hang on, let me mute my TV.
You good, sonny?
Okay, well, there we go. Yeah, wasn't that all crazy at all?
Son's footwork's going.
I didn't think we were going to lose Michael Parsons. I really didn't.
We was going to lose who?
We was going to lose Michael Parsons.
Yeah,
like
we lost Michael and Micah Parsons.
I love Michael. I joked around him 30 sacks, but he's that kind of athlete.
Huh.
He should have had 30 sacks. Wouldn't have been for all the holds and everything. He would have been on the mark of it or been close to it. Because there's they play 17 home games.
They play 17 games, sonny. Yeah, 17 games.
Yeah, right. And that's why I was saying 30, because of his talent and his everything. But I didn't know they were going to triple team him and hold him either, But, hey, we got to live past that.
We do.
You know what? Now he's the enemy. He went to Green Bay. That's on him. But, I wish him the best of luck and everything. But we're going to beat shit out of Green Bay, and we're going to definitely beat shit out of Philadelphia.
Come on, sonny.
I mean, what are all these people all talking? Hey, we're the Cowboys.
Hey
sonny, it's time.
At the end of the day, right? We're talking about it because it's fresh on our mind. It just happened, whatever. And as a person who covers the team, I'm obligated to do so.
Yeah, I know that.
Once we get here on Monday, we turn the clock to the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's say it with me, Cowboys Nation. Philly.
The sun came up this morning. The birds are chirping outside.
Yeah.
Today's my wife's birthday. So I got to get ready here in a little bit.
Happy birthday,
I got
Miss
some
Sonny.
stuff planned with her
Yeah.
today. I'm going to turn off social media for the weekend. We're going to go stay in the cabin in the mountains this weekend.
Hey, Sonny, we got a request. Are you an Alabama fan?
No, I live here in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Southwest.
You in
I live
prime.
over by, let me tell you, Durango.
You're in prime country.
You know where Durango, Colorado is? Look it up.
Yeah. I think I
But I
flew
live
over
15
Colorado.
miles into the mountains out of west.
Sonny, best believe
West
I know you
of
live in the
Durango.
mountains, Sonny. Best believe that. I mean, that's. I got.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, I ended up smoking a little too much. But I don't care. You know, I can't do nothing about it now. You know, you can't cry over, whatever. But, hey, I ain't going to whip her and cry over some guys making $47 million.
You're getting that mugger, man.
There was no way. Even if they wanted 46 million, I wasn't going to pay him no 45 or 47 million.
Hey,
I wouldn't even pay him 40 million.
I ain't hear them. Look, I ain't here to clock nobody's pockets because I've watched other organizations pay guys and still get it done. But
I want to know, was that back? Did he really have a sore back, or is that just nonsense?
What you think? He probably got a sore
I
back,
don't
but
know.
he ain't got it ain't sore enough to he ain't practice all off season. We know.
Well, I know that, but if he
yeah.
has any soreness at all when that cold hits there in Green Bay, it'll really hit him hard. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you, brother. I feel you. Hey,
Oh, yeah, that cold air will really. But hey, let's go, Cowboys. And we're going to kick shit out of Philadelphia.
Let's go.
35 to, 35? I don't know.
35, 34.
28, 27 or something, or 35, 34.
Yeah. So
Dak
no low
plays pretty good. Dak plays pretty good when he comes back off of an injury.
Indeed, Sonny. Let me get to some more callers, brother. I want to try to get through as
All
many
right, I'm
as
going to
I
let
can,
you
bro.
go. Hey, God bless you.
God bless you as well.
Good job.
Thank you, sir. Oh boy. When did this Michael Parsons thing happen, bro? All of a sudden, he Michael Parsons now, everybody. I understand, man. Sonny said, hey, man, I'm about 15 miles in the mountains. Y'all bet you it. Bet you it's up there with that moonshine and them camel packs, bro. I love Sonny. I don't even know. I don't have an order. I'm just clicking right now, so apologies if you've been waiting. I'm just trying to get through as many we can get through here. Who's this? 817.
Yo, what's up, Sky?
What's happening?
Not much, bro. Hey, man, I just wanted to say I got an unpopular opinion, bro, but I feel like this whole situation ended up being 60-40% Michael Parsons' fault, man. And the reason that I say that is because I feel like, Jerry Jones, I give him 40% because he's petty and he's just Jerry. But honestly, bro, Jerry Jones has been a businessman, and he has been negotiating deals probably longer than I've been alive, and I'm in my 40s. You know what I'm saying? But what I would really love to ask Jerry is this the first time that somebody tried to double negotiate with him? Because basically what Micah did was he was like, okay, I'm going to talk to Jerry, and I'm going to negotiate the deal. And then when Jerry feels like we have come to a deal that he can, be good with, now I'm going to bring my boy in, and negotiations with my boy we're going to double negotiate. I'm going to have my boy negotiate too, and we're going to start where we left off, and we already agreed.
Now I'm going to bring my agent, the guy that I pay to negotiate these deals. I'm going to have him do his actual job. Yeah.
No doubt. No, but to me, I'm like this. Micah, you should have never went to Jerry and talked to Jerry. They said, Stephen Jones even said in a press conference that, hey, we have had players come and say, I don't feel comfortable negotiating with my agent. If Micah would have done that from the beginning and not tried to negotiate with Jerry and just let his agent negotiate, it would have been fine. But where they offended the Joneses, where Micah offended the Joneses, and where he pissed Steven and Jerry off was he tried to double negotiate. He tried to negotiate first and then have his agent come in and do it again and go higher than what they already agreed. And I think they've been negotiating for so long that really was offensive to them. They really couldn't get over that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where Micah messed up.
So I actually feel like he messed up by reporting to camp. I think and getting involved in the war of words in the media. I feel like he should have just stayed where he should have just did what Zach and Zeke and Lamb did. But in regards to your timeline of events, at this point now, it's about who do you believe? Do you believe? Because it sounds like you believe wholeheartedly Jerry. I'm sorry, Jerry is a notorious liar. So it's believe half of what you see and none of what you hear type situation with him. You really got to decipher a lot of things he says. So do you believe that Jerry, who says, oh yeah, Micah came in and negotiated with me? Or do you believe Micah, who came out publicly and said, he called me in to talk about leadership and other things, and then he brought up negotiations, and yes, I interacted with him not thinking this was a legitimate negotiation, right? And when it was time to do legitimate negotiation, I include the guy that I pay to do that job, because I am not a guy that negotiates $200 million deals, every year. My agent is. So I guess it depends on who you believe, right? I'm sorry. I look, Micah's done things from a negotiation standpoint off field or whatnot. I think he'd be a fool to try to get in a negotiation arena with that man. Des Bryant said it best. That is like you, Jerry, going on the field and guarding me one-on-one. That is goofy. And with Micah, he's very emotional, wears his emotions on his sleeves. And if he wasn't going to turn face to Jerry when he's there, he's going to try to, talk to him or whatever. And he probably did feel good about a certain number, but now I have to go run this by the guy I pay to do this. And that's where Jerry, like you said, felt, oh, wait a minute, you sound like you were comfortable with this, and now you're not. That's where the hurt comes in and the ego and the pride, when in reality, it's like, all right, man, look, this is actually how it's supposed to be done, Jerry. Yes, you're hurt that it's happened, but this is how NFL players 99% of the time negotiate these deals. And Jerry's in his right. If he believes that's not how he wants to do it, fine. And if he believes that he gave a fair deal, fine. Clearly, David Mulugeta and his client, Micah, won. They've got not only the money, not only the years, not only the guarantees, but a better ran organization right now. So they won on their end, and Jerry feels like he got a fair deal.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. So I agree with you on that part that they definitely won. The small pushback that I would have is that, let's say that Micah was my son and I'm giving my son advice, and my son is a grown man. He's Micah's age. You would be hard pressed to get me to believe that you sat down with Jerry and had a conversation with him about the money, whether the conversation was supposed to be about something else or what. Bro, you a grown man. You knew what was going on. I'm not going to let you completely act innocent and dumb like you a 10-year-old and you don't know what's going on. You knew what this talk was about when he started talking that money, and you could have cut it off right then and there. Boom. Jerry, look, because Micah even admitted that, like you said, that, Jerry started talking about the money. Soon as he started talking about the money, man, cut that junk off and be like, all right, bro, listen, Jerry, I'm sorry, but I'd rather my agent be present if if the conversation going to start going towards the contract. You know what I mean? I'd rather I feel more comfortable. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. But also, let me just play devil's advocate. Did you see a couple years ago where Jerry was talking about getting people in this room and having his chair higher and so he can have that leverage over top of you and stuff? Imagine you going into to negotiate with Jerry Jones, who's done this for, like you said, 40, 50 years, whatever it may be. And you, a 26-year-old dude who's never negotiated a $200 million contract in your life. I don't think it's far-fetched to believe that Jerry know what the hell he's doing to finesse his way into, well, yeah, you may want your agent, but we're here. Let's talk. Let's rap. Let me tell you. Look, we can get you real estate. We can get you this and that. And I don't think that's hard to believe that Jerry, a 82-year-old businessman, can influence Micah Parsons, who, again, a guy wears his emotions on his sleeve. I think he genuinely believed, a part of him probably did think it was going to be some contract talks, but he didn't think it would be, this is all, like this is it, the end all be all, because it has to go through the proper channels. Like, I do think there is two sides to this thing. And Jerry admitted it. Like, no, I don't need the agent. I don't want to deal with the agent. And Micah was like, well, you have to deal with the agent. I didn't think this was pen to paper. What's the old saying? A handshake agreement is only as good as the signed paper or something like that. But that's not how Jerry believes. That's how he works. And he said he's going to continue to operate that way. And that's his choice. His agent, his team, the other, Micah and them, they got what they wanted too. So I think both parties got what they wanted here.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, I agree, Sky. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
And great show, bro.
Appreciate it, man. God, boy, y'all on it. Let me see. I'm trying. A lot of these numbers are new. A lot of y'all are new, but there's two I do know. So let me get to the two I do know. I do know Troy and MJ. The rest, and Daryl. And I'm not trying to circumvent anybody, but these are folks who've been around. I try to give them priority a lot. So let's wrap to Troy.
What's good, Scott? What's good, Scott?
What's up,
man,
I
feel like we were the last to know. It feels like we were the last to know, man. Michael was soaking at the game, man. People saying he was laying on the training table, bro. I think it was actually happening in real time for him, bro. And it was showing on his face. But I'm not one to crowd with spilled milk, man. I gotta move forward because reality is that's where we at. I'm not one to play the blame game with it because it don't matter, bro. What I do know is that guys that have gone on to make those blockbuster trades, bro, have gone on to play in the Super Bowl. So that's what I'm hoping for us, bro. We got a good what is it called?
Are you talking about the player or the team?
The team.
Okay. Because I just think off the top of my head, I think about
the
Jalen
Eagles,
Ramsey,
the Rams.
I think about Jalen Ramsey getting traded to the Rams and winning the Super Bowl. I think about us moving on from DeMarcus Ware. He went on to and won the Super Bowl too.
Well, what I was referring to, Scott, was that with blockbuster trades, it's usually quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When those quarterbacks, the Eagles traded their quarterback away, they got those picks, man, and they went on to get.
Those organizations that traded non-quarterbacks I think were blockbuster trades, Troy.
Yeah, and still went on to the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm hoping for us. Will McClay takes those picks, man, and turns them into gold for us because Cowboys with picks is I guess a close runner-up to us having Micah Parsons, man. And that's how I'm looking at it. So go boys, man. Turn these picks into gold for us, bro.
I agree.
All right, Scott.
Appreciate it, Troy. Yeah, I mean that's where we have to live, right? In the hope. I would talk about the hope creed and the wish creed. And you just hope like hell, they can flip these picks and they kind of can buck their trend, excuse me. The trend of late has not been great early in the first rounds. You hope that they can either use these picks to go get a blue chipper in the draft or use these picks to go get a bona fide rising star, whether it be offense, defense, wherever you want to put it, that can help you get over the hump. I said this with Jeff. There just doesn't feel like we don't know the plan. And I feel like if you were a different organization, you would feel comfortable. I mean, hate to bring up these Eagles, but if you're an Eagle fan and you have all these picks, like, all right, we cooking something up. If you're the Chiefs, if you the Bucks have even done it, the Rams, Les Snead, the Patriots in their heyday, who did I say? I already said the Rams, the Chiefs, et cetera, like that. Like you feel confident that we finna do something with this. We have no clue, right? Like we have no clue. We were excited because we got two picks that we hope are, perennial all-pro type guys by year 29, right? Realistically, if you're drafting in 26, you hope by 29 that they're like that, 3 years, right? In 27, you're hoping by 2030. So yes, the attraction of the picks for the draft sounds amazing, but then when the reality sets in, we're talking about 29 and 30 for these guys to now be where we really want them to be and allow them to develop. I ask you, Y'all feel like y'all cool with waiting to 29 and 30? I mean, we have no choice, but the way they had moved after the draft, realizing they being reactionary, we need to get a receiver. It felt like, okay, maybe we're going for this thing, and then boom. Does not feel like maybe we're cutting Ryan Fuller. Oh, weird, but hopefully you're getting back on the practice squad. There just doesn't feel like a plan, is all I'm saying. And I personally would like to use those picks. Fuck 28, 29. Let's go get better now because you have a window. But if not, which probably ain't going to happen, then be aggressive next year. Because I tell you one thing about the Eagles. They use those picks to be aggressive in both adding legitimate talent, A.J. Brown, and moving up to get legitimate talent, Jalen Carter. Batman says, might as well trade CD. That's what I mean by it really was no. If there was a plan to blow this up and start, you don't sign Dak. You don't sign CD Lamb. You try to trade these guys. You try to get what you can get. I mean, not Dak Prescott. You obviously have to let him walk. But you try to trade the other guys, and you try to get more picks, and you try to just roll up in the draft. You know what I mean? Load on up. All right, let's get MJ. I got about 20 more minutes, so my bad. Let me let y'all go.
Yo, what's up, brother? How you doing?
What's good with you? I'm good, MJ.
Oh, man, I ain't tripping, man. It was going to happen. It was loyalty, like you said. It was the loyalty. And they was buddies. But his buddy didn't do what he handshaked on. And he brought his agent like he's supposed to. Ain't no big thing. And they just didn't come to terms. It is what it is. And he said, hey, let me go on trade him. After you break that loyalty with that man, you know how that man is. Everybody on here know how Jerry is. So we already know how he is.
Man,
so,
does that make it right?
So everybody crying.
Knowing how he is?
It don't make nothing right.
Okay.
But we already know how this man is, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's his thing. Like I tell everybody, he can take a pool in his field.
Yeah.
That's him.
And that goes back to what I said earlier. We're numb. We're numb to the incompetency because we have to keep saying it is what it is, man. That's just that's just Jerry.
It is what it is.
Holy shit, we are here. That's just a horrible general manager. We have to literally live in that world. What other organization has to live in the world of the same general manager for 30 years that hasn't put together?
Yeah, but
it's maddening, man. It's maddening.
But everybody keeps saying 30 years, man. I don't say 30 years. Shit, 30 years. You had a lot of playoff chances. You won your
Is the math not math and has it not been 30 years? Did my math wrong?
Well, in the 30 years you had a few chances to go to the let the Giants still one from you.
And let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And when that doesn't happen in any other organization, do you think that general manager is sticking around?
What? If you get the number one seed and you lose,
yeah,
like the general manager fault, man. What you talking about?
Yeah. What, Marv? What the fuck you
talking about?
Marv, answer my question, Marv. Answer my question.
No.
Is there another general manager?
The general manager's not going to lose.
All right.
No. If Tony Romo had a chance, he got beat by the Giants twice.
Wait a minute. Wait. If a general manager does not get over the hump, the divisional round hump, we're not even talking about Super Bowl, the divisional round hump for a decade plus, 20 years, 30, do you think any other team is keeping that general manager around? Doesn't matter how many. Doesn't matter how many great teams they put together. I've watched the Chargers go through a run. They fired their general manager. Bill Polian, one of the best of all time, fired their general manager. The Kansas City Chiefs fired their general manager. The New England Patriots fired their general manager. The Pittsburgh Steelers fired their
heart attack
general
like that dude, like the guy you just had on the phone crying. You guys crying for no reason. I'm not crying. I've been a Cowboy fan as long as you.
Now you're changing the subject. I'm sitting here asking you a legitimate question when you say, doesn't matter, Jerry. Well, any other team, you talk about he put together these teams, cool. But he didn't. The
general manager get fired.
All right, bet.
We know that.
All right, bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the credit on that. But I'm just saying, you're gonna have a heart attack. Think you're gonna get rid of Jerry? It's his team, man. We can't do nothing about it. So we gotta live with it.
You know my stance. We gotta overcome it. It's unfortunate we are one of the very few that have to overcome it.
I know, But what made me mad when you had a receiver that was better than your other 80. Let me say this. Number 19. How we watching film too, just like you still. And I know you did too. 19 was better than 29 going down on that punt.
Oh, you're talking about.
And
Well, you
it
got to
was
start
better.
saying names. Flournoy. Yeah,
Flo.
they waived
Yeah.
Floyd, man. Hopefully Flournoy make it through waivers.
I hope he make it back on the squad. But I would deal with what you just said. Now, this what you should get. What's it? If you would have traded for 97 from
No,
Green
Troy.
Bay,
I don't believe
what
this
kind of
deal is the fireable offense. The fireable offense should have happened a long time ago. He should have been fired. He should have been fired. This ain't. I'm not trying to have an emotional reaction of fire Jerry Jones because of this trade.
we don't care about that.
I'm just answering Troy's question.
It
This
is what it
should
is.
have
I'm
been
not even worried about Jerry. It's his team.
Yeah.
But Steve, I want to ask you a question. What would you do? The guy we got from Green Bay, what trade offer? I'm talking about if you still would have kept Parsons, what you could have get Green Bay for? If you a number 1 pick, number 2, and number 3 pick
for Kenny Clark?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think you got to give up a first round pick. I mean, again, it's not. I'm not a general manager in this. I feel like there is some Cowboys tax, but I do think a savvy general manager could have pried Kenny Clark away without giving up a first round pick.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a defensive tackle that's going to be 30, has 3 years left on the deal. 2 years after this season at like 20-something million cap. I feel like a savvy general manager can get him for a day 3. Third.
Now you cooking with hot grease.
Third round pick or something like that. Player package.
I would have traded. I would have given him a third round pick, and then I would have cut Mazi and got number 97 off of Baltimore team. Now I might be in. You see where I'm going with this? You got 97 with him. Well, give him guys. You'd have the best defense in the NFL, and Mazi gone, and I would have traded for some guard. But they did that guard stuff from Philly.
I think they need to trade. That is interesting, by the way. Let me let you go, Marv, because there's some more people on here, and I know we can keep going. But I want to.
Does that make sense?
The guard part, I don't understand it, and I want to talk about that with the nation. But appreciate you, Marv.
All right, brother. Good show.
I'm going. Yeah. I don't get adding the guard because he goes on to 53, by the way. So what are we at now? 11 offensive linemen. I would love to know the thinking there. I would love to ask them, like, what happened? Because you have, in my opinion, you've got 4 quality guards in the sense of two really good starters, right? Tyler Booker, Tyler Smith, Pro Bowl type guys, I think, talent-wise. 2 quality backups, TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman. And then we know that Nate Thomas can play inside as well. So now you bring in another guard and you get rid of a guy who that's potential in your wide receiver room. I don't get that. I know I saw somebody say, oh, well, they're going to call him up. And anyway, they very well may, but why a guard? That's what threw me off. Why a guard? Cowboys nature said, you fire his ass, guy. He should have been fired. Yeah. He should have been fired. Somebody said, poor Mazi's out. Yeah, Mazi's I don't think is even going to dress. I'd be shocked now if he dresses. I thought about it because Coach brought it up on Thursday. I really did. I was like, man, that was weird. But do you even have enough bodies to do that? Kind of do, but also kind of don't. Now you got Damone Clark. That's going to be an adjustment too. Kenny Clark. Not trying to turn this into Mazi Smith thing, but this is just reality of the situation now in the room. In my opinion, if I'm going into this game, I don't see the need to carry 5 defensive tackles, right? Does Mazi Smith fit in the top 4? I don't see it. I don't see it. How? Osa Digizua, Kenny Clark are your starters. Right? Osa Digizua, Kenny Clark. Perrion Winfrey, Solomon Thomas are playing behind them. We're not going to argue that Mazi's been or is better than Perrion Winfrey for this scheme. We're not doing that, right? For those who still want to keep Mazi around, I don't think we're even arguing that. So how does he get on this team? He ain't special teams guy. He's not 6'7" and blocking kicks. The 5th tackle, especially when you moonlight edges inside on pass rush downs. I don't know how he dresses. And if he doesn't dress, and this is going to be like this barring injury, that's unfortunate, man. That sucks because you can try to dispute the first round pick all you want. That's what he was. You can argue about the different coordinators and things like that, and that is fair. But you would hope your first round pick can at least, overcome some of that, like an Osa Odighizuwa. But guess what? Some players are not able to overcome coaching. They're not, coach proof. Some players are coach proof, scheme proof. Mazi is a clear guy that is not coach proof, but they rely on scheme and coaching in that sense, and it just doesn't fit the scheme. So, real life question: I don't know how he dresses at all. Legitimate question. 318, you live.
How you doing, man? It's Dre the Truth, bro. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Dre the Truth?
Yes, sir.
Shouts out to you, Dre.
Okay, man. I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of wanted to get off the Micah Parsons subject for a second. But Mazi, he's probably he's for sure probably your second or third one tech. I mean, is he better than Toya?
I mean, I hate that I'm even hesitating on this because it should be a resounding yes. I would say he's more pro ready. Yeah, I think he's more pro ready, but I do think you've seen some flashes of Toia, but I don't think Toia is ready to be a guy you depend on. Should have never been the case.
Right. I get that. But they had Mazi in a difficult situation by gaining weight, losing weight. The boy's mind is messed up. His confidence is shook.
Yeah, his mind's definitely.
But what the Cowboys, what I can say that the Cowboys did is they got their pick back. They got their pick back for him. So he's cooked.
he's cooked. I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, yeah, I don't think he's longed here for Dallas much longer. But here's the thing: the human side of this stuff, real quick. There are mental concerns with Mazi from a human side. I hope that doesn't affect him in a negative way. I know a lot of people try to poo-poo that. That is real life. There are real life mental things with him. He's come out and admitted that publicly. So I do hope that him with the conversation he had with Coach Schottenheimer, who Coach said, hey, I had to have a difficult conversation with Mazi Smith. Hey, man, we don't, there's 53, but there's 46. And now they went out and got a defensive tackle that's going to push him further down the depth chart. I hope that's not something that harms him mentally, but it pushes him, if that makes sense.
He's either gone or, Kenny can mentor him a little bit, coach him up.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the silver line. That's the silver lining.
Yeah.
But what Jerry Jones, Steven, and Will have done, they've made life harder for that defense. That's what they did. When you take a guy that had the best pass rush win rate in the league, the hell with the sacks, he had pressures.
Pressure, yeah.
Right? They schemed around them. Other teams. Okay, we're going to not even think about passing the ball. And we're going to just run at Micah. Take him out the game. That's a superstar. That's what teams do. So now you take him off. You take him off that team. Now they're going to pass the ball on you because your secondary is damn near depleted.
I will say this. It's again, this is why I believe there's no plan or there hasn't been a plan. This is off of reaction. This is emotions, things like that. This scheme, and I'm going to keep going back to it. There's probably new people in here. This scheme is predicated on getting pressure with 4. When your scheme is predicated on getting pressure with the down 4 linemen, you damn sure better have a motherfucking dude that can do that.
I agree.
They've removed that, and now we're relying on a plethora,
Donovan.
right? We're relying on a platoon of guys. And look,
Right.
The depth was fine. You were always going to have guys you were going to rely on from a depth standpoint, but you don't have that dude that's going to dictate the pressure. Here's where the issue comes into play, though. Your secondary, injuries, guys coming back, that may take some time. And you already play a softer defense in that you're going to play a vision base. You're going to be off ball. You're going to be a bend but don't break. what happens if you are not able to generate consistent pressure like you were before when he's on that field, and you're playing soft coverage, and your secondary is still trying to get it together? Do we now turn into, well, shit, yeah, we can run the ball if we want, but like that's the part that gets a bit tricky here. We need to hope that the young buck grows up fast. We need to hope that Sam Williams coming off the ACL injury.
Jerry's playing the long game.
Yeah, we need to hope that
the long game.
Trayvon Diggs coming off the injury. We need to hope that Osa and Clark or Chris Jones and Aaron Donald. That's what you need for this pass rush standpoint, because I don't think we have a pass rush demon on the outside. No, but in all seriousness, the scheme is not a pressure-generated scheme from a schematic standpoint like Jerry wants them to be. They scheme up run defense. They don't scheme up pressure.
Yeah, Eberflus is very good at stopping the run.
Yeah.
He had multiple defenses with Indianapolis and Chicago, mainly. They've had great run defenses. Now, but my thing is that now you're putting pressure on Donovan and Dante and these boys and don't get me wrong, Dante Fowler, he had 10 plus sacks, I believe, with the Commanders last year. So we know that he's capable. But he was brought here to be
a DPR,
the Robin to Micah.
Yeah. So what happens is the inverse of George Pickens, y'all. And follow me. George Pickens enters the wide receiver room. We looked at the wide receiver room before George Pickens, like, hey man, after CD Lamb, what the fuck we got going on here? What was happening? Enter George Pickens, he aligns things up, right? You add these pieces below Micah Parsons, you're like, woo-wee, man, we got some dudes, and we don't got to rely on like a Micah that doesn't have to play 75, 80%. We got some depth guys that can come in and be designated pass rushers. Hey, man, hey, James Houston, just go in there for a few plays. Donovan, go in there for a few plays. DPR, Dante Fowler, go in there for a few plays. Sam, whatever you give us, whatever, right? You coming off ACL, we ain't tripping.
Yeah, because when we're playing Philadelphia and Micah's getting ran at and swallowed up by tackles and guards.
But now it's the inverse, my man. Depth. Now it's the inverse of the George Pickens. Now you remove Mike out, and it's like, oh, we have so Dante Fowler now has to play on early downs. That's more. Oh shoot! Now we're relying on the rookie to play
Marshawn Newland.
More. Now Marshawn Newland, he was always going to be in there. I'm just talking about pure passers, guys. Now we're relying on. Now we really are relying on Sam Williams off the ACL. It changes the context drastically.
Yes, it does.
It's so much easier when you got a guy like Micah Parsons to alleviate that pressure on these guys and keep them fresher and come in and help him from rotation. Now you're leaning on these guys to play more, and that's going to be the fascinating part.
So when Jerry was in the press conference and he said that this is the best chance for us to win the Super Bowl now, that's a load of crap. And we know it. We know it. Now, if you wanted to say we're playing a long game, and that's understandable because that's the move he made. You got 2 first-round picks, but you got a 30-year-old defensive tackle. That's your win now move?
You know what's funny? It is a win now move if Mike is here. Like if you add Kenny Clark, that shows case to me that you're trying to
pay a third.
I know, brother. I know. I'm just saying that this is 100%. Like even if you are 100% love this move, I think we all can agree this is not a win now move.
And no disrespect to Kenny Clark. He's a great football player.
No.
Yeah.
But it's not a win now. We hope that all those things we talked about, they can take that next step. But let's be frank here. Let's be frank.
Like Michael Irvin said, it's a huge gamble.
Let me get this
gamble.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble. Let me get some more calls, bro.
Okay, but take it easy, man.
Yes, sir. 215, what's up? Got about.
Hey, what's up, man? This Philly Cowboy Tax, man. I'm from Philly, man.
Cowboy Tax, what's up? You in the Lions den?
Yeah, man. I've been a Cowboy fan, man, since 70. I'm 59, man. I've never been so mad in my life. I was mad when he got rid of Jimmy, but I understood.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mama.
Go ahead. I didn't take my man off. Hold on. Go ahead. You good, Dex?
Hello?
You good. I forgot to take him out. Yep.
Yeah. And then I ain't buying no gear. Look, everybody in Philly know I'm a Cowboy fan. Everywhere I worked, everywhere, I got all Cowboy gear, bro. I got like 500-600 pieces of Cowboy gear, man. All I do is spend my money on Cowboy gear. My grandson, they like, you starting with him already? He 3 years old. He cowboyed up.
What's the temperature? What's the temperament like in Philly? Are they rejoicing?
Oh man, they loving this.
Yeah.
That's how you can judge. That's how you can judge a good deal. If your enemies love it, you know you fucked up. Oh, my fault. I ain't mean to curse.
No, you good,
but
bro.
Yeah, man, Philly going crazy. They like, yeah, Micah gone. They like the Witch of the West is dead. They over here celebrating, man. We made the worst mistake you could ever make, man. Trading Micah.
Yeah, Micah notorious. I mean, I think he got like, how many games he played against them? 2 for about 7. They had 5 sacks in 7 games.
Yeah, he used to kill these cats, man. And I stopped buying gear. And I didn't start buying gear again until he went and got Bill Parcells. And then when he got rid of Bill Parcells, I ain't buying no more gear. I ain't buying no more gear until Michael Irvin. You know, me and Michael Irvin real cool. I met Michael Irvin back in the 90s, and I used to go up to Dallas when they was down at
I met him in the 90s. It's crazy.
At Dallas Island. You know, Michael used to come to Philly. I can tell you some stories, man. I used to hang with Mike a couple of times down here. Because Egg Williams, you know, Big E from Philly. Oh. Egg Williams, he went to Bartram High School in Philly over here. So Mike, he used to come here. Mike used to come hang with Egg Williams a couple of times. And I've seen him a couple of times. But yeah, man. But no more money. I stopped getting money last year when he ain't go get no picks. When he ain't spend no money in the free agency.
Hey, that's money. That's your right, bro.
No money in the free agency.
And a lot of people are on that too. A lot of people been saying, "Hey, stop supporting."
Yeah, I'm not spending no money.
That's your right. That's your right.
And Sky, he almost had me back, Sky. Well, he was doing cool this year. I like that Jerry spending a little money. Not the real free agents I wanted, but he was spending some money. And he was signing our players. He got OC signed early. I'm like, oh, Jerry trying to do things right. No, he get Michael signed early. Everybody in camp. We'll be ready to go. What'd he do? He gonna go do some old 19 slavery man stuff, talking about some handshake and then get mad when the boy called. Look, Scott, it's against the CBA for a team to talk to anybody if a player have an agent. It's against the rules. It's against the law. It's against the rules. He can't do it. So all these cats tell myself, well, Michael shook his hand. It's against the rules. What are these cats not understanding, man? This is really driving me crazy. I'm like, are these people idiots? Think somebody's going to go in there and negotiate with somebody and then lose? Man, come on, man. You got to be real. This boy 26 years old. He 80. Jerry know what he was doing. That's how he got over on Tyron Smith. Man, got him for a 10-year contract, $100 million for 10 years. And he's the best tackle in the league. Them cats making $23 million. And he's still at $10 million a year. That's what he want, man. He want to get somebody on one of them slave contracts. Get the hell out of here, man. Jerry need to go ahead with that old shit and retire. That shit played out.
It's played out. Hey.
This shit really got on my nerve, man. It really don't make no sense. I'm sitting here watching the team, man, that I grew up with. I seen you know what, Sky? The only reason I give these motherfuckers grief because I seen 5 Super Bowls. But not all everybody not old as me. I'm 59. I seen every Cowboy Super Bowl. So I seen 5. That's what I tell these Eagle chumps when they try to talk about bowls. I say I seen 5. And Scott, and to me, if you don't win the Super Bowl, it don't matter. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go to the Super Bowl and lose. I don't want to go to no NFC Championship game and lose. I'm an all or nothing ball. I done seen 5 of these things live and in person. From the time I was 6 to the time I was like 45, I seen championships. You know what I mean? So I'm willing again. I done been in 20 playoffs in a row with Tom Landry. I done been through all this stuff, man. Man, I bet you if you add up, man, I bet you I done spent like $50,000 on these. I done traveled to fucking Dallas. And look, I was going to go to that DDLS store down in Vegas. I was going to get that. It's $2,500 for me and my wife to go. And I would have to get a ticket from Philly to Dallas. That would have been another $500, $600, $700. That's $6,000 I'm planning to spend on November 14th to go see these Chucks. I'm not spending a dime. You're not getting a dime from me. I'm watching on TV. I'm not buying no NFL channels. I'm not doing none of that. My grandson came in. He did his last day off. I'm watching him today, man. I'm retired, man. Hey, so I'm sitting here with my grandson.
They call you OG Aki down there?
Huh?
They call you the OG Aki down there? What's your name, bro?
Yeah, you know they call me OG. Look, my son. Oh, they call me OG.
So
they
look,
call me OG.
I'm just on the phone with you real quick. I hear you.
I've been following you for a long time, man.
But look though.
You've been doing a good job.
Hold up, look though. If they beat Philly, you right back on that bandwagon, ain't you, big dog? You right back on that.
No, I ain't messing with no Philly.
I said if they beat them. You know damn well you coming back, dog. Come on.
Who?
If the Cowboys beat the Eagles.
The Eagles.
If the Cowboys beat,
I ain't hear you, guys.
If the Cowboys,
what are you asking me, guys? Hold on, I ain't hear you.
I gotta let you go because apparently we must be on different frequencies. We on different frequencies, man. But
look, I'm never gonna give up on the Cowboys. Don't get that misconstrued. I'm just not spending no money, getting Jerry no money in my pocket. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. I got you. I see. I see where you at with it. I feel you, big dog. All right, let me get some other folk on the phone, man. I appreciate that passionate delivery, bro.
All right, Scott, man. You be easy, man. I'll call you again, man. This is my first time calling, man. I've been rocking with you for a while, though. You're a vibe.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? You've been away for a while. I'm glad to see you back, man.
Yes, sir. Oh, I ain't going over it, big dog.
All right, baby. Be easy, all right?
You too, fam. Good stuff. This is what I mean by like call in, man. Vent. Either way, one side or the other. You know, vent. But basically what old boy is saying is Jerry went to the negotiations and Micah was like, oh, so now we can go to the agent, right? And Jerry said,
no, that's not what I said.
No. And if y'all don't know the context behind this clip, please do yourself a favor and go watch the most fantastic movie ever, man. Django Unchained. We Skywalker Unleashed. But right now, we Django Unchained. That's not what I said, man. That's not what I said. I already had 318. Hold on. 346. What's up?
Hey, allow me to reintroduce myself. Mr. Skywalker Steel, how you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic this morning. How you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Listen. All right, number one, Cowboys fan. I ain't going nowhere. Believe it or not, I've seen worse with this owner, and I've seen worse with this franchise. Hang in there, people. We're going to get through this. That's out the box. Second, to me, this ain't no football move. This is a petty spite move by Jerry. He got outflanked, and he couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And let me backtrack a little bit. Let's take the timeline. Let's take the timeline like last year.
Oh,
they reportedly said that Micah and the agent talked to Jerry, and Jerry blowed them off, saying, "No, we're not talking about this." That's when you're supposed to pay Mike anyway. But let's say they approach you last season. You already know last season. You got a lame duck coach. Half the roster was going to be gone because they were all free agents anyway. They contracted with. You got all this buku money that's coming up. That's the time to re-sign Micah. Or,
I mean,
if you really about trading. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's your name, brother?
My name is Mark. My name is Mark.
All right, Mark. Look, Mark, we are all aware and understand that the right thing to do, the smart thing to do is to get ahead of these, right? I think we all agree on that. And one thing we also agree on is that that's not what the Cowboys usually want to do at the top of the market guys. In fact, I think it was Jane she talked about how when she spoke with them, he said he doesn't want to do that because what happens is the agent then says, well, this is how we predict the market. And they don't believe in predicting the market. They believe in paying what the market is now. So that's why you see these top of the market deals for them. They don't, when I say top of the market, I don't mean fifth, I mean the market setting ones. They don't like to try to do it early because then they feel like they're paying more than what they'll pay now. And that's just how it goes. So that's why they let these things linger. And then it also helps that they can get in the media, they can get the headlines and things like that. So yes, most organizations, you see Philly, you see Detroit, you see KC, you see these guys getting ahead of it. That's not really what Jerry wants to do. Yeah. He lives and breathes the negotiation stuff here.
Yeah, and again, that he's not doing football business. Again, he does more, to me, in my mind, again, to reinforce the notion that all that success they had in the 90s didn't have as much to do with him as he wants people to think. Okay? Having said all this, don't come back now after, you get this end around done on you with the agent and with Micah. And you want to tell us that this little deal you do now to get him out of here. Because he wasn't going to play without a new contract. He's going to sit out. And it's the thing that you do to move him around now. Again, the fact that you got two that's going to be really early second round picks if everything goes the way it's supposed to go. The fact that you could get that type of picks for Micah at this late a date in the season tells me that you wasted an opportunity. If you're really talking about making this a personal Walker type deal. So this ain't no football move. This is fight and this is pet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. No, I think you're spot on there. I do think if they make this deal earlier, they get more in return. I think Jamal Adams netted more picks technically than this. They didn't get back Clark. They got McDougal back, but anyway, yeah. If they do this earlier, I agree with you here. Excuse me, my bad. I slipped what I was about to bring up, but no, I think you're spot on there.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and I'm upset, but I'm not surprised. Once it got to the point of Jerry telling everybody he got this handshake deal like this is 19, whatever it is.
Oh, that's where I was going to go.
Ain't nobody. So it's stupid. It's stupid. So this is Jerry's fault.
I mean, he told him,
say what we want about Michael.
He told on himself in the sense that this was more about the pride, the ego, feelings and whatnot. When Micah, told Jane, we came back to the table. Once we heard, all right, they trying to listen to offers. Jerry got what he wanted. He caved. The problem was it no longer became about wanting to negotiate anymore. It became about you, the loyalty, and you told me this, or we talked about this, and then you got your agent involved. I don't want to do that. It became more about that than it became about real negotiations because he don't want to do real negotiations with a dude who was notoriously an absolute beast in negotiations. Micah's not a beast in negotiations. He's a beast on the field. So, of course you're going to get one over on Micah Parsons, but you're not going to get one over on David Mulugeta. So when they did, when he says we came to the table and Jerry confirmed this in the presser, he said, they came back to me and wanted to talk. And I was like, no, I'll play on your deal or get traded is what Micah said. Yeah. And they decided to trade him. And Micah got the deal that they were looking for, and he's in an organization that's going to be football focused, and the Cowboys got the draft picks and the defensive tackle that they were looking for if the trade was about. So, this wasn't about getting back to negotiation table. This was about loyalty, feelings, ego, pride, and Jerry didn't like that. He all but admitted, screw negotiating again. I'm fine with that. I'll negotiate with you. I didn't want to negotiate with your agent.
Yeah, exactly. So again, this is not about football, and as it pertains to football, who I really felt for is Brian Schottenheimer. I've gotten some good vibes from him. as in terms of not just his personality, his demeanor, and all that stuff, but the fact that he's focused on the football aspect. That's not to say other coaches here haven't been, but I think he's gonna be more insular in terms of what he expects the team to do. I think he's gonna have more accountability across the board for people on this team, from the staff on down. So that's an infrastructure, and that's what you got to have. Yeah, and that's what you got to have here. So you got to have that. So he doesn't recap his head coach, Jerry has. He doesn't.
Yeah, but the problem is that the infrastructure don't start with him. That's the problem. It don't start with Shotty.
That's the problem. That's the problem. It don't start with Shotty. No. Shotty's got to work against that. So we'll see. We'll see, man. But again, like I said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm a Cowboys fan. God 100%. Bless Micah. Got his money, and we're gonna see what we're gonna do. We're gonna see what we're gonna do. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Good stuff. No problem. Thanks for calling in, man. Good call. Special K, this is, you've been around. I ain't got to tell you this, but this is great comment here, and it's something we talked about on the show a lot. He says, Special K says, that's scary, man. That's why your franchise owner shouldn't be able to be the general manager. Why is that not a rule? Now that part, the owner can do what he wants, right? But I've talked about this a lot. I don't think the business side of things should be mixing with the football side of things, because that is conflicting. That conflicts with each other here. And Jerry all but says it every single time about, stirring a pot and being in the media. We're doing our job. Yeah, you're doing your job as an owner, right? You're not doing your job as the general manager in that sense. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a conflict in interest when that happens. And then it's not even that he's the sole guy making the decisions. There's like 4 or 5 people that help make the decision. I don't even think that's a good thing. I don't. I think having a general manager making the decisions, and if that doesn't work out, he has the heat on him to get fired, or, hey, man, we got to be ultra aggressive and go for the gusto here because I'm going to get fired. That is more beneficial than the way it works here in Dallas. So that's a good post right there, and it goes along the lines of what I've been saying for a very long time. Let me get to some of these supers. I've been terrible with this because I like to get through the show and then read them at the end. I'm going to read these supers right quick. Let's get some music going. I'm going to read these supers, and then there we go. I'll get to some more. I forgot to read some yesterday, too, by the way, but let's go. J. Jack dropped 10 and said, draft and develop team who doesn't sign top players, top free agents, hits on their first-round pick, who's an all-pro, 3 out of 4 years, and then they don't want to pay him. Can't make this shit up. The funny thing is, I think they wanted to pay him, but they didn't want to pay him in the way him and his representation wanted to be. And then once they probably saw the monies, they was like, oh, now we're good. The funny thing is, Cowboys Nation, he will try to gaslight you about, well, we believe we can take the money we were going to pay and do XYZ with 3 to 5. You literally were finna pay this man likely $42 million per year, right? AVV, which again, but you offered that. Are you here to tell me an extra 5, 6, 7 million, if you even want to go that is going to affect you on getting the players you want to get? That's a lie. You've never operated in that way. You've had mega bucks to operate and get free agents and make big, bold trades for bigger players and monies and that. Stop it. It's the same thing you brought up with Dak and CD, and then you went on to sign them anyway. That's just his way of gaslighting and manipulating the media / fans. It's bullshit because other organizations do it. So I don't fall for that. And I know a lot of people, and you might be wondering, well, why aren't you bringing up contract, or why aren't you bringing up money? Because I don't care. I don't care, because you can still do what you need to do to put together, to get players to get you over the hump, no matter if you're paying a bunch of players. The problem is the guy that's heading it doesn't know how to do that. Let's just be frank. Let's be real. He's proven to you he doesn't know how to do it in the salary cap era. That's not a lie. Think about it. How come the Cowboy fans are the only fan base that can recite the salary cap book? We the only fan base that time after time after time after time gets told pie, cap, allocate this, allocate that. I mean, time after time. All while the rest of the league is like, man, what you talking about? We going for this thing. So I don't fall into that trap. I'm you can feel how you want to feel. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm just letting you know how I feel. I don't fall into them trying to gaslight me about monies. And so it's funny when I see, man, I would never pay $47 million. It ain't your money. The salary cap is extremely fluid. That number or the salary cap number is going to continue to jump. If it means I keep my not just best players in the sense of I kept a D-Law, I kept a Terrence Steele, I kept a Malik Hooker or Donovan Wilson. I'm keeping one of the best football players in the National Football League on my team. Man, pay that man. We're talking about it. Especially if you ain't finna do shit with the money anyway. Now, prove me a liar. Prove to me, now that you got all this cap space, that we finna go out here and sign free agents that move the needle. We finna go out here and pay players, or trade for players that might cost a little bit, but they are needle movers. Do that then, because the history says you haven't. So excuse me for not giving you the benefit of the doubt. I can't blindly trust that. I hope things change in that sense, but I can't blindly trust that because they've had the money multiple times. They've had the rookie on a quarterback on a small deal multiple times, and you saw the guys that they brought in. So it just doesn't make sense to me, man. But he's a fantastic manipulator. I would not doubt him with that. James dropped 5. Unk down a little ultralight and got a Newport lit. I'm not spending a dime. Yeah. Hey, look, y'all got y'all right. Sully dropped 5 and said, unless something crazy happens, we traded for 2 early second-round picks. If this trade is to the Panthers or Saints, great trade. I hate it here. Yeah, I would have tried to manipulate a worse franchise, a worse organization. This organization's been to the playoffs 5 out of the last 6 years. They have a good young team. They're one of the youngest teams in the league. They get one of the best upcoming players. Not even upcoming. He's already one of the best. They just don't routinely live in the top 10, top 15 in the NFL draft. Yeah. Data suggests this is likely going to be a mid to late round pick, and hopefully they parlay that into something better. James dropped 220. Shots out to you. I ain't been pressing my button, but
super chat.
Appreciate you. Remember, y'all, James' son, man, he ain't feeling it. He said, my son's 6 years old, tall and lanky. Do you know what gymnast uniform gonna look like on him? The Micah trade made bro's son want to do gymnastics is crazy. He gonna be looking like MC Hammer, too legit to quit. You know how that make you feel as a father, God. JR, you wild, bro. JR dropped another dub and said, just got a text from my son. His teacher said nobody can say the number 11 in math class. Or he gonna fight. He said, they doing the 11 times tables a day. I gotta go pick him up right now. You crazy. Ray Farr, appreciate you. Ray dropped 5 and said, we're a 7-win team at best. There will be games where we score points, but doubt that defense holds up. I don't know why part of me, I said this the other day, I still believe with Ford and these weapons and things like that, barring injuries, staying healthy, I still think we could be close to a 10-win team. And I ain't gonna lie to you, because I say this all the time. If I feel like there's bias taking over, I say it. I feel like there's bias taking over with that, dog. It's not a homer thing to say, but because I ain't being a homer. I'm just, when Ford's healthy, team is healthy, we usually win 10 games. But damn, it took a talent hit. That's for damn sure. Where we at here? James Barnes, appreciate you drop a dub. Respect guys and support. Appreciate you. Said I'm still sick, but love this team. I have a feeling Jerry is loading up in case he wants Archie. I see it. I'm pretty sure there's a thought process to that. He also brought up taking those picks and doing something with them. But I'll be a fool if to believe they're not thinking about potentially, that scenario. But boy, would have loved if they kind of stuck to let's try to go for it now since we signed our quarterback and wide receiver and things like that. But who would have? I don't know. TB dropped 2 and said, run D was never a priority. Defensive tackle was there in free agency. Yeah, run D was never a priority. This is just them trying to, justify the means to the end. Brendan, appreciate you, Brendan T. He dropped 2 and said, both of y'all are awesome. Thanks for the show. Shouts out to Jeff who came on earlier. If you guys missed it, run that thing back. Charlie G dropped 5. Cowboys have not won with Parsons. 1, he fades away in big games. And 2, in the contract, $180 million, he don't score 3. He don't score 3. He wanted to be traded. Bye, says Charlie G. Yeah, do you think they're going to win without him? That was my question earlier. Like, a lot of people are basically saying, well, we wasn't going to win shit with Micah. Do you think you've gotten better with without Micah right now? I don't even think people who hate Micah Parsons would realistically say that. I mean, I guess we don't know. You say that about everything, but I think people who even hate the guy and is ready to see him go would admit talent-wise, you're not better. I don't care about the money. I mean, I think it's hilarious when fans are pocket watching in the sense that extending him frees up cap space. What are we talking about here? Extending him frees up cap space. We're not talking about squabbling over Terrence Steele and Donovan Wilson and Jalen Smith and Lyle Collins and Randy Gregg. We're talking about Micah freaking Parsons. What are we talking about here? It doesn't stop you from doing what you want to do, but you've been manipulated, man. It is what it is. Hey, it happens. YK Simba dropped a dub and said, what it do, Sky and Jeff, man? F them picks, double up and see if the Titans are willing to come up off Jeffrey Simmons, and hope the young bulls, Easy, Sam, and Cole can make some shit. Yeah, that ain't happening. Kenny Clark is your Jeffrey Simmons. He is your Jeffrey Simmons. You pay Osa. Osa's your guy. Kenny Clark's the guy next to Osa for the next 3 years. So, but Jeffrey Simmons was a guy I would have been interested in bringing if they didn't bring in Kenny Clark. Dro Nose dropped 10 and said, when Micah went to get that second opinion, Jerry told Steven, I'm going to personally snip and clip that guard. I bet that did piss them off. He said, why Clark? We couldn't get Rashawn Gary and some threes with them first round picks. Well, Dro, we needed a defensive tackle too. So I get the Clark. Man, you better come up off Clark and Rashawn Gary. Right? Man, come up off both of them. But I do think there's a Cowboys tax. Aaron dropped 5 and said, if they were a savvy front office that would trade seconds for a player and move back in next year's draft to recoup, etc., I'd be less angry, but they're not. Fair. Yeah, that's what I'm saying earlier about if you had the same belief in your front office as you had in other organizations do, I think this doesn't move the needle too much in the sense of, a lot of the outrage from the trade. Dylan dropped 2 and said, package of 1, Mazi and Sam, and go get Henderson. I mean, a 1 will probably do it for sure. But yeah, I'm kind of there right now. I'm trying to get rid of one of them picks for a dude. Henderson is a dude. Here's the problem: you're going to have to pay him, and do we go back to this, paying situation? And with Henderson, I think it could be a little bit just as tricky in a sense. Now you're talking about a 31-year-old, is he 32, whatever it is? And Jerry told you in the press conference, if you believe this, it ain't about what you did; it's about what you can do. So, do I pay a 31-year-old defensive end $35 million or whatever in the open market? And we're right back into this whole thing. David J dropped 5 and said he's been traded. Fine. The only thing to do now is move on and hope Dak doesn't get murdered in game 4. I mean, yes, we will move on. I do think it's funny when, you're a creator, you're somebody who covers the team. We get on here, we have to talk about it. But some fan, hey man, he's traded, move on. We'll talk about. No, that's what we got to talk about right now. This is what we got to talk about right now, and that's what let the fans get it out. Oh yeah, I got to get going here in a second. Jay Diz dropped 5. It says, Sky and Jeff, good morning. We all need to accept the Jones family doesn't know football operations. I agree. Too much evidence at this point. Man, try to tell that to people that cap for him. The Coleman Cowboy Show, appreciate you. He dropped 5 and said, okay, I'll skip one, but Jerry ain't the gambler no more. I'm on episode 2. He's more invested in our development this year, and we get ready for the Eagles. It's cool. It's cool, a bait, for sure. You know, at this point, man, I say all the time, we have to overcome the way things operate here. We've become numb to it, so we don't really. I'll be honest. Like I said, once the football season starts, I don't keep my foot on the neck because I love football, man. I don't want to keep talking about these fools. I want to talk about ball, and I get it. I could be part of the problem. You guys want to get mad at me for being part of the problem. That's fine. That's fine. I don't want them to. I'm not going to allow them to mess up the love I have for this game and this team. But it's fair if it does. So that's kind of my rule. Once the season starts, man, it's forward and onward. But yeah. Aaron dropped 5. He said, front office kept Mazi. Coaches said we may not play you. Progress. Sky, it's awesome to have you back. This channel deserves 100K. This was the other day? No, this is today. Appreciate you. Aaron's a beast. I did skip one. Brendan. He said, Jeff is absolutely right. The general manager has no plan. He just does stuff. Glad I'm a Spurs fan and I have fun basketball to look forward to. Y'all know what I say over here. We just do shit. Brian Gooseby dropped a dub. Appreciate you. He says, appreciate the content, brother. Been rocking with you, King, since the beginning. Thank you, BG. We just getting started. I know I gotta do a hard out here in a second, but we just getting started. Appreciate y'all for being here from day one. We're going to keep this train rolling. Next week, we start our Cowboys versus Eagles coverage. We're going to talk about each side of a ball Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Got a guest on Tuesday. The 2i show, recording on Tuesday. We got a lot. Got a lot for y'all. Trust and believe me. Jay dropped 2. Appreciate you, Jay. He said, good morning, Bomb Squad. B. Bird dropped 5 earlier. He said, teams trading for players that they wanted before they were cut. The Cowboys should have done that with CJ Okoye. Yeah. I mean, I would have just traded for Clark straight up. I feel like you could have got him without having to trade Micah. Max and Millie dropped 5. Okay, that was earlier. Okay, I got through them. All right. I told you I was going to get to some of these that happened the other day, and I did. All right. I am so this is why I put that alarm on. I got a lot to do. I didn't get a chance to get to all the callers. Here's what I do Monday. Y'all still have this on your minds. I want to talk about it. We can. I'm going to break down Eagles offense against the Cowboys defense first, and then we'll get back to talking to you guys if you do want to about this. I will tell you this. Me personally, I'm not going to be spending all week over the trade. We have to talk about it now because obviously it just happened, but we have a game on Thursday, y'all. Football back. Football is back, and we got to kind of move forward. And I get it. Some people can say, well, you can't move forward if you don't acknowledge the elephant in the room with the front office. More power to you. I get it. And we have all off season to talk about that, but now it's football time, and my whole thing each week is we're figuring out how we beat this upcoming opponent. That's kind of how I operate on this channel. If you are a fan who wants, content about constantly, ripping the Joneses, y'all know I'll rip them for sure. But that gets tiresome when it's football time. So you guys can do that. That's what the phone lines are for. That's what the chat's for. But we're going to turn our page to this Cowboys-Eagles game and try to figure out, how the hell we can get past these defending Super Bowl champions. And one thing somebody asked me, Scott, what you predict? Only prediction I got for y'all, man, is Philly. One way or another, they got to figure it out. It's finna be hard. Even with Kenny Clark, they ran for like $150 a game against the Packers last year, even with Kenny Clark. So it ain't going to be easy, but they're going to have to figure this thing out, man. You'll have to figure it out. Appreciate you guys so much coming through. We back here Monday. Let me press this button. I got to go. Love y'all to death. Yeah, basically, F, man. Esther said, you handle this better than me. don't get it twisted. When it initially happened, I was like, man, this is bullshit. But I got an obligation to y'all, man. Ain't finna sit here and break stuff up one way or the other. But love y'all. Peace. Gotta go.